Hello.
Moist. Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Before we continue on to the show, we're going to kill a few minutes here, the folks at home, waiting for our resident communist to make an appearance, as he's running a little bit late. As a result, I shall hereby start a discussion. Who is the hardest motherfucker in Disney canon in terms of the film?
You're dropping just like
Goofy.
an MFer within 5 seconds of starting, by the way. Thank you. I'm really enjoy that yellow check mark, the yellow dollar sign.
She'll be fine.
But this is an interesting conversation, though. Who is the hardest MFer, or really, in all of Disney?
Mommy enjoyer.
Mommy enjoyer. Who is the hardest mommy enjoyer, or the hardest MFer? Okay, I think we need to start it with the obvious.
Who is the hardest Samuel L. Jackson American of all of Disney canon?
Well, obviously Samuel Jackson, and he's in Star Wars, which is a Disney property. So there you go. But we're talking. I think are the roles an animated film, right?
2D
Preferably.
or 3D. Or the
We can. I say
some
it has
action.
I'll do it again.
I say it has to be animated or mainline Disney live action schlock from like the 90s.
Really? So wait, like pirates?
Blade.
Blade's pretty high up there.
Well, I forget. Wait, are we? So we are including Marvel.
I would hold off on Marvel. Have like a secondary in the Marvel thing.
So
But
that's
it
a
has-
whole different thing.
Also, Blade wasn't dropped as a under the Disney canon. So it was the old
Right.
Marvel film stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that Blade was actually. It would have been a Sony film, I think. Actually, was it? But it doesn't matter. Like now, it's owned by Sony. So. Whatever. So I think we have to be honest that it's Gaston. If we're talking animated.
Now, don't get me wrong. We all know of Gaston and his achievements.
Though he got cucked by a monster, so it's like,
Oh, true.
It's Gaston's little boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
LeFou.
whatever his name is. What's his name?
LeFou, I think.
Something like
so,
that.
yeah.
Fucking Mike keeps getting switched around. I hate that. I need a new mic stand. I've been saying this for months. Whatever. Okay, so I also said Rourke from Atlantis.
Rock from Atlantis is just Steve Lang. So it's literally just Steve Lang, but buff. Buffer, rather.
He's absolutely brutal.
If Steve Lang was crossed with a fully grown orangutan.
Question: are there any Disney characters that were at any point played by Gary Busey?
That is yes, Iago the Pat. Oh no, that was Gilbert Gottfried. I was getting mixed up.
That's Godfrey.
Gilbert Gottfried, yeah.
Gary Busey. He's in 2 Walt Disney films. I think they're both live action there. Yeah, Rookie of the Year in Nashville. I think Gary really goes for voice acting work. He just had like a severe jaw injury.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly help.
To be fair, he was basically liquefied in that bike crash. He's got an outstanding everything injury. He was Gary Busey. I love him to death, but is literally the result of modern day like human alchemy, like full on. Like that's the only reason that something like that is still scuttling around.
I just realized I should give other people maybe Christmas hats too.
Gary Busey is humanity's attempt to spit in the face of God. That man is a towering monument to our hubris.
Behold, a randomized character.
Very much so, huh?
If Diogenes a hell of a chicken, like a plucked chicken, but with Gary Busey's face. It's like, behold, what the fuck?
Is that Saturn?
If there is a picture of Gary Busey as Saturn devouring his son,
Oh, dude, that would be
that's
amazing.
got to exist somewhere. We've been sidetracked on our fucking tangent. That was
I know.
legitimately intended to be a tangent to piss away time for a few minutes. Okay, here's
Clearly, we are succeeding.
I'm going to throw it down the gauntlet right here. The hardest motherfucker in all of Disney is not a person with even powers. He hasn't even got more than like half a fucking verse in a song. Archdeacon from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Is it the church dude?
Frollo? Frollo?
Yep.
Man?
No, not Frollo. He's a judge. I'm talking the Archdeacon, the mother that when Frollo is literally murdering gypsies on the steps of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Dude walks out, is like, "What in the fuck is this?"
Okay, well we're talking about
On my lord.
Okay, well, we're talking about Hunchback. I pose Phoebus. He's a hard motherfucker. Also, very attractive.
Okay, listen, your real character flaw for motherfuckers in reenactment gear aside, I suggest the reason I say the Archdeacon is that the Archdeacon, a fat little old French man, probably from like judging by the looks of him in the Norman regions, rocks out of the fucking blue to literally the man with enough power to burn Paris on a whim because he got thirsty for a 14-year-old gypsy girl. He burned down Paris over that, and people went along with it.
Yeah, but
And the Archdeacon rocks out and calls him a bitch at such a. He calls this motherfucker out so hard he has an existential crisis on the spot.
But this guy is fucking handsome as shit.
I will say the beast from where Gaston is also from. He's disappointing in human form.
Mm.
He just looks weird as a human. I don't know what it is.
Oh, we have a message from Ray Gillette. Bill, how could you forget Horned King, my dude?
Horned King was literally my 2 rank. Purely, in terms of danger, yeah, Horned King's fucking number 1 with a bullet. Jesus, especially if he's got the Black Cauldron, so it's just endless spawning of like monsters, really like unkillable undead. Like, in fact, I think it's statted in Pathfinder, and it's a problem. And as in, I should know, it's in 3.5 edition in one of the Dragon magazines. They statted the Black Cauldron because they had a tie-in. Yeah, she had like a. It was like a fish. It wasn't just it's that, but we like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, it's like straight up. Here is the weapons and his magic sword and the Black Cauldron itself,
Bruh.
in an article. Back in the day, Dragon magazine used to go hard as fuck. Like in 3.5, Druid's meta got ruined because they released a World of Warcraft tie-in section in Dragon magazine and included the ability. A feat that would allow a druid to wild shape into a fucking pyro hydra. 12-headed variety of that.
Also, the original questions make me just think, I've not watched many Disney movies, it seems.
Oh, really?
Even though I made like one of my final presentations in school to like pass, like graduate, I compared actually the 2 Lion King movies.
Oof.
The CGI one and the 2D one.
Yeah, well, if you want a comparison of that, I think Your Movie Sucks made a... Did he ever actually release the full thing? He did. It's like 3 hours long, I think. It's Lion King.
A lot of people saying Zeus from Hercules. True.
Zeus from
He
Hercules,
did lose a fight, though. He did lose a fight.
Yes, he did put it out.
Maleficent, and
Wait, this is
I know
part
it's
1.
not the animated one, but Angelina Jolie as Maleficent is pretty good.
I would love to see, like, I've got a great love of the humans are sick of supernatural stuff's bullshit and chase it around with a bit of wood.
Yeah.
That's my favorite genre, the monster bullying genre.
And if you want to compare the
Gretel show that was like all about them being monster hunters.
I fucking love Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. It's fucking amazing.
It was. We watched it not too long ago. It was really, really fun. Penny, there's YMS's part 1 of his review and comparison between the CGI and animated.
Don't worry,
Lion King. It's 2
I got
hours and 40
B
minutes long
on my presentation. And I held it in
Approaching
English so I can avoid my arts teacher for this presentation.
he's moving in on the long man's territory with that stuff. But it's been 7 months. I don't think he's put out the second part. So, oof.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's just that 2D animation has so much more charm.
And is more emotive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I mean, CGI has its place, but I find when it's like, hey, you're readapting a children's movie. It's the whole thing of how uncanny the first Sonic model was for the Sonic movies.
Yes.
Yeah, and then just like the second version is so much better. And I watched the Sonic movie, and I think the first one, I believe the second one, it was actually decent. I had
There's probably going to be a case study in the future when it gets to video game studies in actual computer science courses, especially in Blender, where they're going to start studying Sonic the Hedgehog as a franchise of how to and how not to fuck it up. And they're going to be using the Sonic movies, but more specifically, I don't know if everybody else has watched it, Sonic Prime, as a case example of how to do character models and make them on model compared to what they have gotten in the past. Because let me tell you, I'm so happy they brought back Sonic Boom for a sequel. That show is so good. If nobody knows, it was a Cartoon Network spin-off of Sonic, but basically that weird, wacky universe where Sonic has the scarf. He's voiced by Roger. They're all the ones that have all the memes spread about them on the internet.
And it's also that's the series where there is a send-up of Chris Chan in the style of Misery.
Yes. Yes. They basically did something akin to that for Sonic Prime. There's a bunch of people who have been fucking happy about it concerning Shadow, saying, oh my god, he's not an edgelord. But it's like, Shadow was never supposed to be an edgelord. That guy is grief-riddled. He watched a human he loved get murdered by a gun in front of him.
He's not edgy, he's just Batman.
Yes. Like, every time I see people complain and say that he's an edgelord, I just remember the fact that they probably didn't play Sonic 06. Because his entire speech to
Why would you want to do that?
Because his entire speech to Mephistopheles the Dark, when he's explaining why does he
that's
fight...
That's an actually edgy motherfucker.
Yes, oh god, Solaris...
Mephistopheles the Dark comes across like an actual parody in universe, but I have to expect someone to go, wait, your name is what the fuck?
He is what people think Shadow is. But Shadow's entire speech to him is like, I'm not going to give up hope. And also, I'm going to take these power limiters off because I'm going to beat your ass. It's like, what's edgelord about that?
I would say this, I like power limiters, but I really feel like we need to bring back the weighted clothing, like a drop in the jungles these days. Because I've seen a lot of, like Kenpachi's kind of the peak of it, where like, oh, he's got an eye patch that eats excess power, makes fights more reasonable. But like, and of course, Shadow's got the cuffs. But can we bring back weighted clothing? Because I feel like it's really, really underrated.
I like the trope of having somebody wearing over hundreds of pounds of weight, and that over the course of combat, if they feel like it, they just drop one, and it counts as basically this person now has a +1 in everything.
I got stats for that, fam. Don't worry.
Oh, that one thing from Into the Armory.
Yeah, the thing has no upper limit.
I love those.
Except how much time you got.
Thank you, Penny.
And there's no upper limit to it either.
Yeah.
Also, I think.
I am.
Oh, it's Mark's avatar. That's why. I was like, why?
Yeah, there's just a floating hat.
You guys are so waiting to see if Mark's gonna drop by.
Yes.
I didn't want
to.
to.
Do we want to get started and see if Mark shows up? Because we're approaching about 30 minutes after when we're supposed to.
We will have his floating Christmas hat as command.
Yes.
In memory.
But to conclude, yeah, probably overall, hardest motherfucker is the Horned King. But in terms of sheer gumption, I've got to give it to the Archdeacon, who literally just threw hands verbally, just called out Frollo that hard. He nearly gave him a crisis of faith on the spot. That's my 2 cents in it.
Yeah.
A lot of guest on support. A lot of like.
I like my Rourke answer. I think Rourke is a hard motherfucker. He's
Rourke is probably Rourke is certainly up there.
Oh, maybe the one hunter from Tarzan, was it?
Oh yeah, the guy from Tarzan?
No, that wants to hunt the...
Clayton?
Right.
I think so, yeah.
Clayton is like a legitimately vicious bastard in all his other media.
Yes.
Absolutely vile. So is Rourke.
Every time he turns up in Kingdom Hearts, it's a problem. Yeah, he gets noosed in that.
Oh.
Well, I mean, and Rourke's death, comparatively, is the most violent and horrifying in all of
literally
history.
explodes apart on a molecular level.
From Supreme Emperor Kiza, £5 for Carl. We should do a chat all about Sonic and demonstrate to people why so many fans are cancer. What do you say, good sir? I am confused. Carl, what is your response?
It would be a very well. It depends on how deep you want to get into it. It'd be either hours long or an hour long, because the simple answer is one, people didn't actually play most, if not any, of the Sonic games, especially the storybook Sonic games and Sonic Riders, especially Zero Gravity. That the Sonic Rider video games have way too much good music in them, and they are way too good to just pass up on characters like Babylon Rogues. But most, and especially, the reason number two, and I think you know what I'm about to say, Aaron fucking Hansen. That's it. That'd basically be the entire podcast.
Oh, their playthrough of 06, yeah.
Well, it's not even just a playthrough of a 6. Why would you have a person who vehemently hates Sonic and takes him out of context constantly in the media that he chooses to consume be an ambassador to Sega?
We have a mark in chat.
Yes, hello. I am here.
Hello. Hey. Awesome.
You have a Christmas
Hello
logo
there.
too. Hold on, I'm gonna take a screen cap.
I was just like walking around my house eating a garlic bread, and then I was like, oh shit, it's James.
So wait, why do I suddenly find myself with free time on a Tuesday night? This doesn't fuck.
Something's wrong here. I can eat my garlic bread in peace.
What? Mankind discovering it could in fact play D&D and eat garlic bread at the same time.
Dude, garlic bread is delicious. I don't blame you for getting distracted.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. This is, and also I know we've kind of been rambling and just doing some shit fucking around here, but this will be the last episode for the year, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we shall reconvene on the 3rd.
Well, yeah, I think we're going to take off, obviously, for the holidays. So, yeah, on the 3rd of January, I think is when we'll start it back up. So I called this the season finale, but it's not really. It's the season finale, and it's the end of the season. But we also did wrap up beating with that big boss fight. So, you know.
And so very nearly a second one.
Yeah, I've come to a bit of a head on that one. And yeah, it was said in the chat, Mechanic is on duty did say the communist was distracted by bread. Ironic.
Yeah, he's kind of walked in on that one.
Yeah, a little bit. And if only you had a crowbar in real life. Anywho, shall we get into things, though?
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Rolling in the Isles. This is a very special episode 20, our season finale, as mentioned, Worship the Ashes. The person who guessed last week that the title last week was about that Longest John song, you and a bloody pumpkin, you lucky leader. You got it right. It's 100% where I was stealing that title from.
Also, just in a continuation from Kiza's earlier, another £5 saying, Carl, let's make it a 45 minutes.
Three to 4 hours.
Oh, 3 to 4 hours. I thought it was like
not 3
a
quarters.
third. 3/4 of an hour.
It's a speed run.
While blasting out Sonic Mania's soundtrack in the background and ripping on the furries in the original movie trailer.
Well, okay, come on. It would be fair that if you're doing a Sonic stream to do it as a speed run. So we get 3/4 hours. Let's go, Sonic! The Super Sonic.
Special Ramadan edition. Gotta go fast.
I'll if you guys aren't already linked up, I'll make sure that you guys have each other's contacts. If you want to do that, Carl, I don't know. Talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Welcome to Rolling in the Isles. We have shitposting about who's the baddest motherfucker in Disney. We have random acts of networking on stream.
Hey, at least it's not a ad read this time around yet.
Well,
Aiden, no.
What ad would you like me to drop? Sincerely, they're the one who.
Welcome to our new venture. Unestablished titles. We will be now selling off each 5 foot square of this map.
No, we're not doing that. Even though I don't actually have a problem with the subtitles, like I said.
Give me $5. You can
doesn't
have
matter.
a 5-foot square on this map. I will cut it out. I will post it to you.
It's rolling.
It's not what it's about.
It's rolling titles, not established.
This is I put this in a whole bunch of. I thought I had this in the stream.
Rolling titles are pretty good.
No, is that you can get a percentage off. I think it's $5 off your order if you go with.
We're not going into the ad.
No, we're not doing actual ad free.
Last time you backed out and
caught something like
remembered
Akashic titles or some shit. I don't know.
You didn't remember what was going on when you went
Oh,
into
right.
your ad.
So yeah, $5 per 5-foot square, and it's double cost for the Crypt Things Throne.
But it was gonna be for Dragon's Treasure Teas. It's a haven for anime and tea lovers.
But I've never had a sentence fill me with such. I've never had a sentence fill me with such dread in all my fucking life.
Go to dragonsreasure.com and you can get your anime themed tea.
God damn it!
This one tastes like this.
What's wrong?
The anime fan drinking their first can of Pocari Sweat. Those bastards lied to me.
Pocari Sweat, that it's not actual sweat.
Well, a sad state of affairs. Anyway, who would like to recount the events of last week, which were quite eventful, to say the least?
I will.
Also, just in another £5 from the Halfling. This time on Broken Crown, Carl ponders eggnog. Aiden realizes this campaign will never end, and Kizza throws pimp money around as per usual. I'm guessing this is what the end was gonna be.
Yes.
Yes.
Or just
Carl, I gave you the eggnog to ponder
Right,
since you don't have your orb.
So you can ponder.
The ride never
Well,
ends.
I made homemade eggnog this afternoon from scratch. I didn't put in rum. Most people put in rum. No. I did amaretto, Kahlua, and brandy, and it's the tits. It's
I
so
described it as
goddamn
tasting
good.
like if someone made thin custard in a leather
Rude.
bag from a
Rude.
sofa.
I strained it 3 times, including through a cheesecloth. So it's not that bad. It's a little bit thick, but it's supposed to be.
I feel like before we do streams and we're going to be drinking, that Aiden and I just have to show off what alcoholic beverages we'll be consuming throughout the stream.
Oh, I'm not drinking that eggnog. It's for Christmas, so it's
Welcome to the
sit in
stream.
the fridge. And...
Bill will be drinking Beltion 96.
Oh no!
I'm drinking this coffee that was made for me in the morning. I've not yet finished it, and it is 10 p.m. Cheers.
Okay. True.
So,
however, in born to business, last time on Power Rangers Time Force, the party uncovered the deeper workings of the chapel, with Amant making a deal with Salome to work with the party and use the chapel as a base of operations. Baz and Mark slowly uncover the traps on the doors, while Amant studies the dungeoneering to uncover the secrets within the chapel. The rest of the party continued to collect algae on the outside, while Amant concealed his presence to the now arriving Church Guild, attempting to regain his spymaster bearings after being exorcised out of the sword and living in the world for about 4 hours. After searching around, Mark and Eris set off explosives with the help of Amant, testing to see if undead essential salts could be able to be reanimated, go harvesting with the rest of the Church Guild to get the algae from their dynamite, and after Baz alerts the People Order, Salome fleeing into the distance after breaking off Grand Malevolency. That's it.
Who doesn't love
well
mermaid
done.
fishing and then activating several mines in the waters?
obviously, it's how you get the most fish.
And the most algae too. It is very important.
You got some layers of algae from like under the bed of the actual swamp.
Bruh.
Nice.
So it's stuff that
Better
can't
give
really
me the
survive
big
in
bucks for that
oxygen.
one. Oh god, it's the type of stuff that preserves like bodies.
Yeah, they've got that peat bog energy where it like just turns you into like
Wait, why
turns
is
you into a
Han
fucking
acquiring
Venetian Snares
alcohol?
album cover.
Hold on. Han went to acquire alcohol. I'm guessing he's grabbed a mead.
Ooh.
Either that or whiskey. Not sure.
I'm always a big fan of meat. Unfortunately, it's very expensive to get over here. I never
Yeah,
have
it's,
meat.
we need to start making it.
That is like I think in The Hague, actually like a meadery. And they also have Hippocras.
No, it's all the way up north.
Oh, is it even? I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting Hippocras. Nice one. Okay.
And cherry mead, I think we also picked up from it.
And last we did bring a good deal of new bits and bobs and spangly things for the party, including our infamous ad read version.
My bad. Hey, Dragon's Treasure is actually like really cool. She's the woman who, I think it's the woman who runs it. Very, very cool. Laid back. Also sponsored Ricada. No, like not sponsored. I'm not getting paid any money. It's just somebody whose stuff I like. You know.
In that case, the field is yours, ladies and gentlemen. You are surrounded.
More algae.
Bit of out of game question problem. I'm trying to get the token to change to the new token, but it's using my old token.
You'll have to remove your token from the map and then
Just drop it back in.
Yeah.
How do I remove it from the map?
Click it, and I think if you press backspace.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't have the. Let me see. Yes.
There you go.
And then just repost.
And then just drag it back in. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just looking back over at the characters and just seeing Steve the cum beast kind of forgot.
Yeah.
No.
Fucking got me.
The cum beast soul lingers in the game.
Of course,
He's
forever.
never been here, but.
I wish I could rig this thing to every time you like click into the journal section, it just plays like the
Oh.
the calamite like zone. Like
The cum beast theme, you mean?
He
Yeah,
lives
exactly.
in you.
Well, he does. I think if his name is the cum beast.
you are.
Now I'm struggling. I can't try that.
Hold on, let me. Oh god, I have so many things open. I'm gonna drag in Steve the cum beast. No, I can't. I'm not allowed, it seems.
You can't drag the cum beast.
Try to drag it by the name if possible. Like, I'm gonna just.
Yeah, you did it by
be
the
like
name.
a
The drag and drop
tab.
stuff has gotten really bad
Whoa.
lately. I don't know.
No, that's just me trying to show.
It's because they introduced the avatar system for everyone, also
Oh.
players, which confuses things because there's like a difference between how it displays itself in the library from the side versus what you actually put down.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Roll20. Really cool.
That was the problem I was having because they changed the token, but then it wouldn't let me have the new token picture. It just gave me my old token picture.
Right. In that case,
Now
you need to change it down below the lower picture.
I did.
Excellent.
Now I just need to get the token to have that. Well,
Man, some good ass meat.
now my token's just gone.
Why did you not give me a mead? Wow.
Yeah, Han. Wow.
Because I'm an alcoholic and I don't.
Well,
I will offer
Same.
you.
aren't we all?
Just like me, real
Han,
food.
I will offer you
Just
food.
like-
Give me mead.
You have a cup?
I will soon enough. One
All right.
moment.
You sort that out.
Okay, here's my token. Thank you. I think Bill had to do it.
Don't know
Okay.
why.
Yay.
But just make sure that's now selected
alcoholism.
as your default token on your sheet.
It was giving me the default token of the last picture. Anyways, not important.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Technical bullshit aside.
this is the distracted episode.
I'm going to continue hiding inside of Neri for the time being.
Oh, okay.
That's what the baby.
Upon that noise,
Oh,
could you roll me a heal check, please?
Yar. Oh, hang on. I gotta get my. Actually, speaking of, I gotta get my fucking sheet up. I didn't have it up. I am very prepared today. Oh, fuck me, dude. Okay, heal check. Yarp.
That's also for you, Carl. Even if you don't have heal, just roll wisdom. Okay. Armand, as you go to the suddenly the taste of like bile and blood fills your mouth.
Oh no.
Mhm.
You know, near his end of things. Your ankle hurts.
Like how bad? Like just like an ache or like
suddenly
sharp...
just like throbbed, like completely red hot.
Oof. Well, I'll grab my ankle and oh jeez, what the hell is going on?
Your boot is like completely tight. Way more so than usual.
And this happened, I think I would be able to piece together like the second that, well, I'm assuming because of the technical things that happened there that Armand like popped out for a second to like look around, then popped back in, and it's the slurp noise, but and this effect.
Suck.
The suck, the big suck. Like should just say, whoa! What the hell was that?
Checking on your ankle, your ankle is visibly swollen.
3.
I have meat now.
Excellent. Can I use a heal check to at least like make it, I don't know, rub it a little bit to make it feel better or something like that? Or do you know like where to touch it?
There's a horror. There's a kind of a pull. It's almost like the feeling of something giving way, and then the tension of the boot is slightly less.
Okay, so is it getting better? Is what you're saying?
No, but your feet are wet.
What? Oh, fuck. Oh my god, okay, I'll take my boot off. But there's shit all around. We're still surrounded by fucking zombies. What am I gonna... Are we still in active combat?
No.
No, they all died. Okay, they're all dead. Alright, they're all done. Okay, I'll sit on the... I'll just go sit on the steps in front of the mausoleum or whatever and take my boot off.
As you recall, when you were in the ponds, you got bitten.
Oh, shit, yeah.
On the ankle.
Yeah, fug.
Your ankle's now 3 times the size it was.
You're made out of rock.
You're made of stone, like rigid stone.
Yeah.
But the plates are like bulging out at odd angles.
Uh-huh. Can I even get the boot off?
And you or they were rather, as you realise that the source of the lack of pressure is that you apparently burst an abscess.
Ew.
Huh.
So on top of the pond, you also got a prodigious amount of like pond scum and algae and such growing like lichen on your skin.
That's alright, I'm a rock.
Could I roll a perception check to not see that? Since I'm standing next to it.
No. So as far as like a poor Cardinal here is concerned, he's just having a conversation with his like new neophyte, and as he's doing that, some random woman walks up, like leans against a wall, takes off her boot, and like most of the foot comes off with the boot, like it's like it's a survivor of the Battle of the Somme.
Great. Again, like what? Use a heal knowledge, I guess, or my heal check to see if I have any way of knowing what to do to try and ameliorate this.
You may roll me another heal check, please.
Am I rolling to aid her?
Okay. You may if you wish. This
is a crit.
Hey,
okay,
there you go.
You can. You literally just like spit a wad of ectoplasm into the wound, and it seems to fizzle slightly, as if it were like peroxide.
Yeah.
But it appears to be a common infection.
Oh. Well, fuck.
But
we've been here for so long, it's managed to get really bad. Hey, fellas.
Does an infection count as a disease?
In this case, yes, it's filthy.
Right, well, I'll come a bit closer then, because you get my socialist medicine bonus.
Oh, right!
Socialist medicine.
What does the socialist medicine do again?
Oh, don't make me dig it out.
Gives
No, no, I didn't mean. I don't mean like I don't mean a real explanation. Just say.
Oh, it is on. I did.
But how does it work?
Well,
he
look
just
at the
pulls out
really,
a Colt 45.
You just have to look at the
puts it
Nordic
against
model,
your
okay?
It just works. It's like King Crimson that way. It just works.
So each ally within 10 feet gains a +4 morale boost on saving throws against diseases.
All right, cool. So so is this disease, if it's actively harming me, I think that like, how does that work? Does it float basically, Bill? So like, if we're going back and my foot gives out as it appears to be, do I have to make a saving throw? I don't think I have to right now, but
You do still need to make a check, but it is made. It is made significantly easier by this. By
Okay.
what's been done.
okay, cool. Thank you, comrade.
Each according to his own, or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah.
You know the rest.
Yeah, that whole thing. Well, lads, I'll say to the people who have arrived, it looks like I may need a little bit of medical assistance that we probably shouldn't handle here in the middle of a dirty swamp full of undead.
Don't worry. We should get them cleaned up in no time. So take an afternoon.
Going to teleport into Baz.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that shit, I see. Thank you, though, for the ectoplasm. I think it's mostly better now. For the time being, stabilized.
And
Just
just seemingly talking to herself. Talking
Just
to
kind
the
of
boy.
grunts. More importantly, in the Baz. There's something on the tree I need. Start actively walking Baz in the direction of the tree, because I'm pretty sure they left the sword behind.
I must go now. My planet needs
My people need me. I will be right back.
She starts like awkwardly like quapping backwards.
Baz just sighs in his head and says, I'll be right back, Cardinal.
Baz does have the sword.
Oh, but already has a sword?
Yep.
Okay. Inspect the weapon.
Have a look at it.
Like, really inspecting it.
Roll a perception check, please.
By the way, I've already like stripped away parts of that weapon.
That's fine.
What bits?
Like I used it to forge the ghost spike.
Oh yeah.
Well, then you like, oh, we found it.
Basically, I fused it together with bits of cold iron and silver.
I've already stole all the copper wires from it.
As you've ripped chunks of this thing apart, you notice that there is a little latch on the hilt.
Can I inspect as to what it does?
Yes, you may.
Right. Try and...
Yeah, any knowledge in that? Any knowledge will do. It's kind
of... I'll do siege engineering. It is a fun one.
That is a hidden... That is a hollow grip. And there's something inside the grip and or pommel. It's also what's so front heavy.
What's all this then?
Would you be operating it?
Yes.
Click. And it swings open. And inside is a little chunk of leather. And it goes all the way along the tang, all the way through the grip. And back up again.
Wait, so does the grip extend, essentially?
The grip opens up, and inside is this little chunk of leather, which is actually quite substantial in size.
I shall take it out and inspect it for any sort of writing on it. Not that I can know what it is. because I can't read. There might be something suspicious on there.
Odd runes, maybe.
So the opera in defense,
common.
sir. I see. I was like, what do you see? What do you see, Chims? There's a book. Yes, Chims. It's glowing a funny color. Are the words glowing a funny color? Yeah. Kill it, Chims. Because Chims can't fucking read. He can't be imparted eldritch knowledge. You just know.
These carvings are too accurate for sand people.
There's a bunch of carvings all over the walls, and they're glowing a funny color. Should I shoot them? Yes, Chims, you should.
While Baz is holding the bag, I just whisper to him, "Open it up."
All right. Let's have a look.
Do you look in the bag?
Yep.
He's looking in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
What does he see, Bill?
Well, currently it's not all the way extended, so he sees the bottom of the bag.
Could I try and extend it all the way?
As soon as you do, it falls away into the usual pocket dimension you find in the bag of holding.
This is mine, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's fine. The blade's mine, though.
You can keep the blade.
The blade's mine is the man who's already cut it up into 3 other weapons.
Who's already like processed it several times over. By the way, I'm gonna quickly just like put it away and then take a step back to catch my breath. Because it purges all oxygen in 10 feet. So
that's the best thing about it. You still breathe, but it just doesn't give you any oxygen. So
yeah, that's really
dangerous because you need to actually roll perception to notice if you're actually getting oxygen or not.
Gonna walk him back over to the rest of the group, but also put the bag of holding in his right hand, walking back to Neri with it in his right hand. Just hand it to Neri. Look her directly in the face. Like Baz is going to take his left hand, lift up her chin while extending his right hand. And he's going to just slowly caress the side of her face.
I don't think I approve of this.
As this is happening, she can feel a hand reaching inside of her.
Bad touch. No. I resist. What is happening? What are you doing?
I'm possessing you without having to physically step inside of you.
No. Okay, have you explained this to me in
the
any way?
The horse turns and looks at you.
Basically, what you feel and what you hear him say is, "Don't react." As he just...
I'm going to need the mother of all composure checks, please.
Yeah, so, I'm still going to fucking scream.
So we'll save with charisma instead of wisdom.
For me to try to not scream?
Yes, it's a composure check. It's a very ill-known thing that was only ever used in like D20. Oh, that's good. And plus whatever you think. That's pretty. Yeah, that's enough. DC's only 15.
Baz's face is just going to turn to everybody. She's going to probably really need that medicine pretty soon, guys. It's getting worse.
Okay, I'm just screaming inside my head then. Screams internally.
Yeah, Connell, you may want to have a look at this.
Oh, what's all the fuss about then? Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I'm like knelt down, measuring like from her knee down, like and lining them up like as if I'm gonna cut it off.
You're just writing down a bunch of notes and then you just put Tusky.
I mean, it probably is valuable metals in there somewhere.
Mark just already has a sickle around her ankle, just like waiting.
Mark, you should just engrave into one of your sickles socialized medicine.
True!
Yeah, true.
Just engrave it into like either the metal or into the wood.
That or healthcare.
The sickle is for cutting down grain. It should be Lysenkoism. Or just Lysenko.
This was not the discussion. Just for that, I'm going to make sure it hurts when you get healed.
Me? What, for making the Lysenko joke?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck. Rude.
Baz is going to hand the bag of holding to Neri, and as Baz puts it into her hand, like he is physically putting it in her hand, and then he's just going to go slightly limp as he regains full control of his body. Alman's going to speak directly to Neri and say, "That is a bag of holding. This belongs to me. I'm going to live inside of this when I don't need to possess any of you."
Okay. Well, also, I'm gonna look at
in my
Baz and
brain,
go,
it's like a backpack, but it's in the shape of like a little house.
oh. I'll also look at Baz and go, let's never speak of this again.
He just slowly nods.
So the cardinal, by the way, has just witnessed two people walk up to each other like they're playing Exanima and it's their first day. Like, you don't know whether they're doing some masterful acrobatics that land in a German suplex, or if they're just about to hurl themselves bodily into a wall. I also shocked the idea that he's having trouble because he's not used to dealing with people as tall as this, or as short as this. Especially not simultaneously.
What height is the cardinal, out of curiosity?
Cardinal's a solid 5'10".
Nice.
And about twice as wide.
Bruh.
Also,
he's 10
also,
foot
this
wide.
man is not.
He's 10 feet wide.
Look at this man, this lad.
And this absolute unit, if you will.
But you still know that's the face of someone who will 100% cave your head in with a stick.
Also, once I'm done settling to Neri, going to put the bag of holding with the space deployed, but the lid back closed. Going to close it around the rope that I handed her. That's on the end of the chest. Reactivate rope trick. Move myself inside the dimensional bag, and put the dimensional opening of rope trick directly in the position of the holster, and move the chest around from inside.
Okay. Bargain. Okay. You're all situated, and she's on down here.
Just gotta be.
Okie dokie. Where was I? I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so we got the bag of holdings all set up.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden's down here, so she can't answer for Neri.
I think the cardinal is currently looking at Neri's wound.
Yes. Cardinal's it's like he's kind of grimacing and looking at it like he doesn't quite like to look at it. It is quite badly infected. Like, it's not like a stand. If this is allowed to gestate into its like active damaging stage, you would be a bit beefier than usual filth ether. Because there's all sorts of debris in the wound. Like, that much is obvious. So, I don't know, we need to clean it out as best we can first.
Does anyone have prestidigitation or something? I reckon that might help.
Unfortunately, no, I did not take that cantrip.
I will look around in search of Eris.
She is collecting algae.
Eris,
huh?
you're one of the magician types. You got prestidigitation?
Okay, return.
Sorry for a
Oh,
second.
not another one!
I don't think I do. I do have healing? And she will then walk over, doing a thankful nod to like the brothers, since they've been helping. Also, I
The
jump
larger of the
scared
two will
myself.
pop a double thumbs up, and the small of the two will toast with his pipe.
Nice. I also jump scared myself because I didn't have the browser open. And so when I hovered over it, it fucking put the big lad just on the like full blast image on the OBS. It scared me.
Getting jump scared by the lad.
It was with this lad. So what's going on? I have cure light wounds. I can offer that.
You see Neri and her ankle is like the size of a grapefruit.
I think so. Oh, I've been there before. It wasn't my ankle. When I shattered my foot, it literally got like grapefruit sized. Make me relive traumatic memories I see in an RPG bill. You know, they put out that new rule book about how you're not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to like use the code word when you've traumatized me.
So here you go. Here's the book of erotic fantasies, and now you can suck my dick. Jesus Christ! Like, I'm a firm believer in decorum in terms of like RPGs. Don't be that guy with the real degenerate shit that no one really wants part of, but they're all too polite.
Where people have not agreed to it and it's been like, I'm gonna just start doing stuff. Yeah, please don't do that. Thank you.
Don't be that guy don't be that guy that requires that the gunslinger beanbag them into the floor every 10 minutes. But
I mean,
I thought no. But still, come on now. We're all meant to be adults here.
Aiden is not a full adult. And you know this.
Yeah, she's about 100. She's about 100 pounds away from counting. Like, if you want to, like people who are into American history, if you're wondering where the other 2/5 of certain people went during the fucking dark times, literally, then here is Aiden, a fucking model of the remaining missing 2/5 theory. 2/5 of a person. Shadow my ass,
ankle. What the fuck did you do?
I have no idea, but I imagine I would recall having been bit. I was bit when we were in the water by a zombie, undead or what have you.
It's full of zombie teeth, saliva, pond water, pond sludge.
Oh no!
Like deep swamp mud.
Don't tell me she's gonna get dysentery or something.
I don't want to get please not dysentery.
The only thing preventing her from catching boot soup, which is my favorite disease in the game, by the way, is the fact that it's a fungal disease that will be competed by the other diseases currently swimming around.
Why has this from any of the heal checks or anything? Would I have any idea why this is progressing so quickly? It seemed magical.
The reason it is disinfected this quickly is simply because there is so much debris and detritus in the wound that that entire area is trying to swell the blood vessel shut, so as it can't. It's like infecting other areas.
Oh, okay.
This is what happens when you don't check where you walk.
Well,
she wasn't even walking when she got.
Wasn't really a choice. It wasn't really a choice, like.
Could I use spellcraft to identify if summon cure light wounds could help at all, even in this case?
Or you can roll spellcraft.
Very cool. Watch me fuck up. Hey, 27.
Okay. Now, normally, cure light wounds would not affect diseases. However, if you can clean the wound fully, and then use cure light wounds, then the immune system should usually handle the rest. But you need to be willing to cause not harm but pain with prestidigitation in order for it to clean the wound well enough, because this is already causing tissue like swelling.
Yeah, I don't have that spell. I also don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not gonna try.
I'm not sure if prestidigitation is even on the witch list now. Think about it.
I'm not sure.
I would be surprised.
It might be. I might just have not picked it, honestly.
It's supposed to be a cantrip.
Yeah, I thought mending would have been better.
Penny, maybe check your bonus spells if you've got like an extra one.
Bonus spells? When do I get bonus spells? Hold on.
As you level up.
Oh, I mean, I have the stuffs from my normal leveling.
By the way, Bill.
Yes.
Could I make a faith healing check to basically suspend the affliction?
You may.
Now, it says on the page that it's like a 1-hour ritual, but could we cut down on that if the Cardinal helps out, since he's probably a bit more versed when it comes to this than I am.
He's primarily using this as just to see how you handle an injury like this, to be honest.
Does anyone have some fresh water? Clean water?
I have something that can be fresh water.
No.
Yes.
You're
I reckon some
little
alcohol
baggie.
would help as well.
Do not put the ghost skeet in the wound.
It's not harmful.
Oh, this should be 25, by the way.
It's like saying Play-Doh ain't toxic. Doesn't mean you should eat it, fam. But he'll check. Yeah.
But Play-Doh smells delicious.
Okay, why does Play-Doh smell so good? No wonder kids eat it. It smells so good.
Focus, people, focus. Not about eating Play-Doh.
Focus. Sorry.
Always a great thing to say as a DM. Put that on RPG Horror Stories. The sentence, enough about talking Play-Doh, eating Play-Doh, focus. Like, there's a hallmark to a man's life.
Could I roll actually also knowledge nature to see if there's any plants around here that could be anti-inflammatory?
You may.
As well as I'm not sure if my spell component pouch would have anything inflammatory. So anti-inflammatory. I don't know if that's said. Yes.
I will roll to aid her.
26 on nature.
And 18.
Wait a second, Penny. Couldn't you use Mage Hand to try and remove bits from the wound?
She could.
Remember the one thing we retrained, and you told me, "Oh, you're not gonna need Mage Hand
Now it's
anymore."
inherent. Now it's
okay.
essentially inherent.
I was about to say, "Oh, you're gonna remove it and say, oh, you should use this."
Oh, did you retrain Mage Hand or something?
No. One of the level 3 feats basically acts like it, so I was gonna retrain the Mage Hand trait.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I still have to run that ability by you, Bill, but we'll discuss it after the session.
I have telekinesis as well, so I guess I could try to help you, but I feel like while you're trying to pull crap out of my wound, I don't know how able I'd be able to assist.
Oh, I can solve this problem really easy.
Wait, question as well.
Oh, you just want to take over and use my telekinesis to help?
Question, what do you have to roll against sleep?
We'll save.
So...
trying to knock me out. Okay.
I mean, if... Is it allowed to willingly fail something like that?
If I choose it, hey,
I'm gonna operating table. I'm just gonna slap you
Just
on
put
the
it near the
chest.
sword for a little bit.
I'm telling you, there's such
there's
such an easier way to do this.
Well,
okay, Carl,
you're in your little
solution?
pouch, and I'm gonna
My physical body is in the pouch. I still possess all 4 of you.
Well, a little bit, but you gotta say something. You gotta explain your counter proposal, Doctor.
Okay. First, Neri's going to hand the pouch to Mark, and then Mark's going to hand the pouch to Eris.
Why should I take it?
Again, are you saying this out loud, or you're just telling me this?
I'm currently trying to fix.
No, currently,
Aiden's
benevolently,
ankle
I'm forcing you to hand the bag. I'm forcing you to hand the bag to Mark, and then I am making Mark hold the bag out to Eris.
You're just gonna body hop a little bit.
I'm not gonna accept it
okay.
because I have my own spell component
I'm inside
out
of the
my
bag.
hands.
My physical body is inside
full.
Just explain what you want to do first. Explain what you want to do first.
I have control of your body. I can make you sleep.
I can just cast sleep, and she can just fail the will save.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make a save. I just go to sleep. Let's do that.
Because there is actually a DC to induce sleep if you're.
Do I have to roll something?
Yes.
Well, other than as long as Penny. Okay, let Penny try first, and if she rolls a 1 or something, or doesn't work.
There's nothing to her to roll. You just elect to fail the save, and you hit the deck like a sack of shit.
Yeah, you just fall asleep.
So I fall asleep. I'm asleep now.
We'll just see how it goes. Immediately keels over.
If I may, before you go to sleep, summon your giant fucking crab dude so he can carry you back.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have no idea how to summon that crab, but I wish I did. I'll just, oh merry man. I'll just do oh crab. Could really use your help. I'll just shout loudly.
Frog.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You
have
yes,
to do an Islamic call to prayer.
Because I don't want to fucking like torture Aiden if I'm gonna try and like fucking heal her ankle. So if she's asleep, she can at least not complain. So hey, that's how operations and surgeries work, okay?
I mean, true it is. That is how it works.
I will provide an aid another by restraining Neri like a proper surgeon from this time.
You can just hold her up so that there's
Before
no pressure on the ankle,
you do that,
actually.
before you do that, Neri is gonna hand the bag off to Mark.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Before just.
As a heads up, I have my hands full with my own spell component pouch and other things, so I'll not be able to take that bag. Okay, do I know of any plants that would be anti-inflammatory that are either in my spell component pouch or in the direct area with the 26 plus 8?
26?
All I'll say before I pass out is please don't cut my foot off unless absolutely necessary.
Just that's the last detail.
I like the idea that it gets cut off. The sentence.
Please don't cut my leg.
Goes unconscious halfway through.
Please don't cut my...
Yes.
You're gonna wake up and your leg's been replaced by a crowbar.
We just have removed her hand.
Oh, kind of badass.
But we just have removed her arm or something. She wakes up and the leg is still inflamed and everything.
No. Don't replace my arms with crowbars, please. I say as I drift off into sleep.
Have a peg leg duct taped to a crab.
Everyone notices that while she passes out, her body still stays in the upright position.
That is not good for the foot because we would not want pressure on it, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I should probably be laying flat.
It's more like instead of like instantaneously dropping unconscious, your body just kind of like...
Well, Baz did mention he's gonna like make sure she doesn't like fall down as hard. And I did ask Baz to hold her up, so...
I presume it kind of looks like there's some input delay between her going unconscious and her falling.
Yes.
It's lag. Like, connect your controller.
It's like her body goes taut, and then an exact split second later, all of the weight is just slowly being pushed to the upper side of her body as her legs just dangle.
Yep.
Without putting pressure on them. Also,
I was imagining that she lies down, but her broken foot just broke off, like, and is still standing upright.
No, me.
It's more like her foot is slowly.
Aiden, is your ankle dangling?
Her body is off the. Her body and her foot is off the ground in a way that if a person were conscious, it would be something it would take active thought to do, but it's just hanging there, suspended in the air. More importantly, you notice that the dimensional pocket is now wrapping itself around your waist, Mark, and the chest is dragging alongside you.
Surely this is not suspicious.
No, it's more like when she handed the bag over to him, the rope was already coming out of the bag. And the rope is now just tying itself around his waist to secure it.
Don't worry, guys. I've got our chest.
Oh.
Our porridge possum chest.
Oh. Makes me think about the poor dead possum. I guess I don't think about anything. I'm asleep. I'm dreaming about the possum.
You're dreaming about having you're the possum lady now in your dreams.
Possum sat there minding its own business, and there's this short, sharp noise.
So
and there aren't any possums anymore.
Am I allowed to assume that I have plants that can help? As I've not gotten response with
a number of the local fungi will actually help quite a bit with this kind of infection. In fact, it will pretty much purge the blood in the offended limb.
What does that mean? Is that a good purging or a bad purging?
Good.
Good.
Okay. I shall ask Astra if she...
This is what I imagine this scene to look like.
Oh God.
Of course Baz sees it that way, though.
Am I allowed to open this on stream? That's the question.
I think so.
It's so beautifully put together.
It really is. It's a Renaissance painting. It must be based on something.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I also, on a weird way, this is a very bleak image. Because it's someone who's clearly got like a face full of McDonald's coffee, which is roughly around the same temperature as the sun. Even the South lads are going, bruh. And trying to like help the poor bastard.
Oh. Okay, I shall use some of the fungi and like prepare it in the best way I can. And then start the procedures of just fixing up things, and as well as using just kinetic stuff to help with the purging and that nothing stays in there. Yes?
You notice, as you're doing that there is another telepathic presence that is holding her foot up.
Okay. Anyway, I will proceed. Okay. What type of roll should I make? Because currently that's just those proceedings.
Okay.
And then later on, I would also like to do a cure light wounds.
Okay. Have you got take the better of heal, alchemy, or herbalism?
Alchemy.
Do you have any of those? Okay, alchemy's best. Please.
Do we even have alchemy in our sheets?
Yeah, it's under crafting.
Basically, it's just called craft, and then you have to input what type of craft you have. I
will provide another
20.
So +4 from me.
Okay.
24.
Is this inside of job profession?
It's just
profession
crafting,
is something else. It's craft should be higher up by like diplomacy and stuff.
I'll put on some ambiance.
I don't see it. Maybe I don't have it. Oh no, I see it.
Yeah, you have it. Don't worry, it's all the same.
I suppose I roll 2.
It's background ambiance. Okay. With that roll, it is enough to clean out the wound quite nicely.
Let's go.
Everything is cleaned out. Everything is anointed with the proper herbs and with some alcohol to get it clean. And the cure light wounds will seal the wound shut. You managed to reduce the wound from a very severe infection risk down to a just no more than a scratch. So you will need to roll the 1d8 see if you can seal the wound shut completely.
Yes.
I'd like to take the zombie teeth, please.
If there was
There are
any
plenty
in
of them
it.
around.
Oh yeah, right. The one bog got blown up, so there should be plenty around.
Dig them all out of the upholstery. You'll find plenty.
I almost didn't roll it correctly. There you go. 6.
Okay. Yeah, that was more than the initial attack, so yeah, that will seal the wound shut.
Way.
From there, I'll be up to her immune system to do the rest.
And now we have to wake her up. Hold on, I have an idea.
It really won't be fun.
I want to place Mr. Chubbs on her head.
Oh no.
That's it. That's my attempt on waking her up.
Mr. Chubbs will kind of pat her around his feet as he turns. Then he'll sling out his tongue, grab your eyelid, and pry it open.
I'm just going to give him a
Neri,
thumbs
you have been
up.
introduced to the outside world forcibly.
Whom?
As Neri has had one eyelid forced open as she slept, meaning she's getting a full blast of, what pass. It's not a lot of sun around here, but there are plenty of people with light sources.
Get flashbanged. Welcome back.
Your eyes just get crammed open. All the first thing you see is Findus, the horse, who is so pale. It is like getting flashbanged.
Bruh.
Good morning. Welcome
Who's
back.
opening? What I need to know. What I need to know is who's
back
opening
real
her
quick.
eye. That's
Mr.
what I need
Chubbs, my frog.
Chubbs is opening it. Okay, fine.
Yeah, he also can control people a little bit, so...
Well, he just literally slung out his tongue and physically pried your eyelid open.
You know how like geckos clean their eyes with their tongue? I will give him a thumbs up as he opens his eyes, and then just gently grasp him. Thank you. Grasp the child.
Armand's just going to give a general, try not to get bit next time.
Wasn't much I could do about it.
The crafty buggers. Always hate dealing with the bottom feeder ones. It's just, as a rule, I stay away from water in general. Never did like it.
Yeah, I see the benefit in that. I'll keep that in mind next time.
Gotta do what us and the lads do. Bodge, Arthur, show him how it's done. Bodge and Arthur will go over to the pond they know is clear, but you will see them get out. You see the larger of the two, Bodge, pick up a hefty-looking urn. It's covered all over in these like little copper coils and pipes. Arthur will unscrew the top, put in something from a bottle, and then another flask, and drop a few bits and pieces from his pocket into it. He'll then close it up. Bodge will give it a bloody good shake. Just watch. It's always great fun to watch. And Bodge will lump the urn into the water. There is a brief flash, and then what few creatures that called this pond home all float to the surface belly up. If you have knowledge alchemy, please roll it now.
Knowledge alchemy.
Craft alchemy.
I was about to say.
They used interchangeably. They know why it's not even on skill.
24.
24.
I'm getting good rolls. There's a scary.
Judging by the chemicals involved, the shape, and the copper pieces, that was a large chemical battery. That they put together and then threw into the pond.
Don't throw car batteries into the ocean, please.
Only once in a while, as a treat.
It's a treat. It
This is for the
refuels
fish.
eels.
This is the lawful chaotic neutral divide. Lawful, no car batteries. Chaotic, no, you must give them car batteries. Neutral, once in a while as a treat, a car battery.
A delicacy.
Grenades, yes, but car batteries.
Some battery
I don't know
chowder.
about that
Oh,
one.
it's a cheat day Atlantic, time for another car battery. Once every 2 weeks.
That's wonderful. I'm just going to slightly make Baz slowly look up so that nobody else is noticing that this is happening, as I try to control him to get some bearings of the sky. It's kind of like he looks down and is like, "Oh, glad that's over." Puts both hands in around his waist. His shoulders tense up as he's slowly being made to stare at the sky.
Just power stancing on the sky.
Yes. Is the sigil of the church that is currently dispelling the ghouls still there?
Oh, yes.
Is it legible enough that it can be copied and written from memory?
Yes, they specifically kept the symbols of the church to be quite simple things.
Okay. Perception. I see this, and I start mentally taking a note of each sigil so that I may repeat it and use it later.
Okay.
Go ahead and release his soldiers. Look around with my eyes, using his face, my eyes, in the general direction of the 180 and facing in front of the church. Starting from the left, sweeping across the range, all the way around for about 60-ish feet. It should be a little bit easier, considering this area should be lit up like a candlestick because of the light.
Yeah.
How far do we see in the general direction of everything?
In terms of just regular dark vision,
Yes.
everything is pictured here. Like, there are a couple of dead bodies on the shore. There's some new ones fresh floating up to the surface over here. apart from that, it is as pictured.
Hans is just going to look over in the general direction of the Cardinal, using Hans's voice. Oh, Cardinal, you just missed it. Salome was in the area. She somehow found her way inside the crypt, but the Lich was keeping her hostage. But in the scuffle of the battle, she scattered off into the over here to the west. I think she had something that we need to go recover. Any of the lads in the field happen to find anything?
Roll me a bluff check, please. Try and keep me cover. $13 to beat. One second. 7058 on the D10,000 chart because I rolled a 1. 058. Target's clothing gets turned to silver and glue. Oh. 7058. Let's get that one. Okay.
Am I taking a curse?
No, it's him.
The Cardinal's taking a curse.
Yeah. He like you see like grunt like just kind of itch at his inner ear. Sorry about that. So, take it you want to hand Moon all this crap then?
Yep.
Right, I'll set the boys to work. But you and I are going to have a word.
Sounds good.
So, you're a new neophyte then?
Indeed I am, sir.
Yeah, we heard a thing or two about a few new folks joining up. So, have you been officially billeted yet?
He just thinks to himself.
I shall take that as a no, because they're giving you a really great big pamphlet about it.
I don't believe I have been, Cardinal.
All right, lad. Don't worry. In the meantime, just give these lot here a hand. Consider yourself acting stand-in preacher for the venue until further notice.
Thank you, Cardinal. I hope I can live up to the role, he says.
You've not disappointed us yet, lad. Don't worry. As for the rest of you, you're roustabouts. You're free to stay here on church land as long as you like. Provided your friends here with you.
By the way, Cardinal, will you be having some sort of a team here to keep watch of anything or?
Yeah, words been sent. It shouldn't take too long now.
All right.
A couple people drop by. It'll be traded from drabs though. The reason this place got so bad is because it was so far out of the way.
It's not exactly accessible, no. Especially through swampland.
No one went near the damn place after the plague. Dreadful stuff.
Mark's going to turn towards the Cardinal against his will and simply say to him, Cardinal, it's very important that nothing from inside the church gets wet. The Lich was very specific that if anything was ever to become rehydrated, it would turn back into the ghouls that we put down. Might always keep the perimeter.
He'll kind of scratch this scruffy beard. Right. Arthur, Bodge. Get your lead in gear. We need to see that whole roof. they'll give their little salutes and scamper back to where they kept some of their gear.
Bill, you have no idea how long I have been trying to practice emulating everybody's voices. It's very hard to do the female voices.
Trust me, I know. Okay, that said...
Bill and Aiden are actually the same person. Like, it's an incredible performance that they do every week.
They both reshot the gun. Crap Chicago references aside. Okay. What was that? Okay. We get the whole place sealed up just to be safe. I don't worry about it.
Oh, by the way, Cardinal, I believe we did detect some movement down in the catacombs earlier. Might be some more ghouls lurking around, so...
Good grief, it's never ending around here. Nobody came down this place.
Yeah. It really is quite something. We've not gotten around to venturing too deep inside. We've cleared the ground level, but besides that...
Our boys have a sweep round just to be safe. You never know what kind of nasty, creepy crawlies show up in these kinds of places.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want anyone to get hurt.
Right, Dusty! You and Astra up. So Astra will slowly and sheepishly file through. You two know the drill. Right, you are, boss. Right, you are. Both trundle in. Oh, actually, took chest with me. It's not cause war just yet.
Cause a war?
If you want to see war, take money or loot from a party. Blood.
Yeah, that's like
I have seen people level cities over a fucking stolen glove.
Bruh.
I have seen men who had committed no crimes waterboarded with raw sewage because they had a crumb of information on someone who might have stolen money from the party.
The only reason I didn't go full melee on the Merchants Guild that one time after the Goblin adventure is because I was I was like on the verge of unconsciousness during that part of the session.
They'll go about their business, searching through the place. You know, as they move up, they've both got these long, kind of, bit longer than a usual pry bar. Though in this case, partially made of wood. So basically a stave with a prying wedge at one end and a hook at the other. Essentially boarding gaps.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yes.
Mark is just going to start walking inside the building, like on the other side ahead of them. Somewhat quickly, all the way to the back of the chamber, and he's just gonna go ahead and go to the back where the sealed chamber is, and put the cloak inside the bag of holding, and walk back to the front of the building.
Oh, I think the cloak got grabbed at the end of last session.
She left it on the ground.
Yes, that was a thing between sessions. Okay.
Okay, and he's back in the front.
Okay. And that very strange scene. It's almost like one of the Castlevania games where you start like backdashing at diagonals. It's faster because it's faster than walking anywhere. So you start tool assisting through the air. That's the real Isekai series to watch. The one where it's a tool assisted playthrough.
Yes,
so the person is just like T-posing around the room.
It's optimal basic movement. But yes, every single time that people start doing things that seem unnatural, it's like their face, it's not that their face goes blank, it's more like they have a now determined expression on it, and they just start doing bizarre shit, and then after the bizarre shit is done, they go back to normal.
You're going to get this place investigated as if there's like some kind of hysterical disease going around.
Yeah.
This version of ghoul fever is very strange.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, I am now in possession of the cloak.
By the way, Cardinal, if
Yes,
if I had an item that I was wanting to trade in, as it's a bit of a cognito hazard.
Who like rub his hands together? I like a good one of these.
He just points at like the ghost spike, which is on a rope attached to his wrist, like 15 feet away.
Yeah, see, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's apparently it purges all air within like 10 foot of it.
Oh, nasty.
Well, oxygen.
Already.
Thing.
He, my friend, he puts his arm around his shoulder, are about to learn about the great experience that is the Church's Guild indulgences. Now, obviously, we're not the Merchants Guild. We can't really deal in things like capital. It's not right, to be honest.
Especially for taxation purposes.
We can do is favours, and lots of them. At least until that religious exemption from tax comes through. That's not on the docket in government for another 2 years. I hate losing draws on the old what?
I see the members of the Church's Guild are fond practitioners of Hawala.
He's learning already. Let's see what you got then. Got a fancy short sword that makes air burn off.
Yeah, I also made some modifications to it, so it's I think it's part black bronze, part silver, and part primal iron.
You gotta just kind of squint at the object over in the grass. Did you lose a bet? Did your armorer just make you a sword out of what he poured out of his drip tray?
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Stress easy. Oh well, I can't all be Smith, eh?
Indeed. He just nervously scratches behind his neck.
So, let's take on that one. Out of curiosity, what exactly were you looking to get?
Well, I was looking to get some better armor. Some hell, if possible, proper set of plate at some point. I reckon with my new position within the my new ecclesiastical position, it's a bit less frowned upon.
There's a look on his face like he's looking pensive, and his face breaks an impish grin. Oh, that's just the thing. Is there anything else you'd like to put into the Church's custody, so to speak?
Well, yes. I pull out the blue disc that is from the Mages Guild, I believe.
About 15 years ago.
Yes.
So are you referring to it as the one as being from the Mages Guild, or is that just for the party members, reference?
I will. It is for the party members' reference. I wouldn't openly state this.
So,
to him.
Some of you might remember this as one of the instruments that the mage down by the waterfall was using. The one that you met on the way up into the fight against the goblins.
Yeah, it got stolen by the two twins.
Yeah, the two twins lifted it on the way out. And it's probably the best time to give it over into custody. He'll take out a jeweler's loop and look at it very carefully. Very nice. You see chunks this big very often. Where'd you find it?
Oh, I just found it laying around somewhere.
You know where? If you go back there, good grief. It's a nice bit of kit. He'll kind of just flip the jeweler's loop shut. Do you know if it does anything in particular? He'll kind of put his hand on his holy symbol, and his eyes will glow slightly from it.
I have no idea what it does, Cardinal. something magical, possibly related to weather effects.
See, I know my way around spells, but this is only experimental. The Whibble-Slingers Guild will be after it. If they aren't, they certainly will be when they find out about it. Right, well, yeah, we'll have to take that off your hands. Anything else?
Baz just like rummages through his stuff in search of something interesting that he doesn't care about too much. Oh, that'd be about all for now.
You are. The Cardinal will walk over, take the stuff, and he will take out what appears to be like a small pouch, a little bigger than a purse. That was on his hip. Unclips it, unfolds it, wrenches it open like it's almost like it's a golf bag. And you notice there's no bottom to the bag at all. That's visible from here.
While he's doing this, Baz interrupts and says, Cardinal, one more thing.
What's up?
Grabs the cold iron flail, which he's traded with Eris, and asks him if he could perhaps find someone who could forge this into a poleaxe, or at least use it to forge it into a poleaxe. He'll specifically mention that it has some, seems to have some odd properties that are particularly repulsive to magic.
He was about to put it in the bag and then just quietly moved it away from it and put it on his hip instead. Like say there, leaving it a bit close. Don't really like that much, but okay. Right, I can get that redone for you, and let's put the other items. You'll put the prism and the sword both in the pack, and he closes it shut. It's got kind of the accordion corrugation to it. Just closes shut. He shakes it once, and what little weight seemed to be in it is now gone. Boys back home, we'll see to that, and we'll see. We'll get someone down here with the runner for you.
Excellent.
Because we've had something in the vaults that would just about fit you.
Yeah, that's usually the issue, getting it to fit.
Don't worry, we've got just a suit.
He just kind of shakes around his gambeson.
One of our great predecessors and great saints of our church happened to be about your height.
Don't see many of those around.
I know. It's a good thing there's not too many of you big buggers in the clergy. We couldn't afford all the meals.
Yeah, it would make communion a bit costly.
No, right, where there's other two eats. And on cue, Bodge and Arthur return with what amounts to a wheelbarrow full of lead. And what appears to be basically let's say we wear more a cauldron on legs, and a massive bundle of firewood. They'll begin making a little makeshift hearth right here on one of the mounds. Right, you're sorted out, lad, and we'll get you set up here. At least in the short term, we'll keep you out of trouble for a good long while.
Excellent.
Now, and he'll kind of put a hand on the hip and try to look bang on us. Is there anything else that we at the Church's Guild could do for you fine people? It'll be a little while before my colleagues are done running around the inside checking for anything too hazardous.
I'm going to look him right in the eyes and say, Church's Guild is the opiate of the masses. And then storm off.
I thought they called all the people's fronters out this way. God, everywhere these days.
We're not from around here, if it's not obvious. Kind of just whimper, I guess.
Your has been put back in the cast.
Neri, do you choose to resist the message that's about to be projected into your mind?
No, I don't think so.
Do you try to picture what is about to be projected into your mind?
Spake your degeneracy.
Yeah, I'm not resisting anything. I'm also like, I've just had like basically surgery done, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Basically, how lucid are you right now?
She just woke up forcibly, got flashbanged with Findus, and she now has to deal with her body's immune system fighting off whatever else is still in her. So probably about a cold lucid.
You hear a voice, but not like the voice that you have been hearing that you associate with Amat.
And all people with headphones quietly ease them open just in case.
It's not going to be loud.
Okay.
You notice his voice is a lot softer and a lot kinder, and it has an accent.
Dun dun. Sorry.
The village. Tell him to sanitize and clean the village.
Okay. I guess I'll just repeat that. Something I don't really know what this means, but sanitize and clean the village?
Don't worry. We got the best on the case. Won't be long now, and all the lads will be sweeping in. We take undead infestations pretty seriously. They tend to get around too much.
Well, I hope you do, because this was pretty severe. It seems to have gotten a little bit out of hand.
Not surprised anyone's around to trigger whatever the hell broke open the seal. It's been going for donkey's years.
Oh, I think we probably know what's responsible for that, but it's taken care of.
What was it in the end, then? Because I've always passed by here on my rounds, but...
Appeared to be a lich. Or something
You didn't
of
like
the sort.
my algae collection.
No.
You seem confused.
Lich up this way? Bloody hell. I can't have been a lich this way. We'd have noticed it years ago.
No, it was more of a crypt thing, I believe.
Oh, those things are stuff.
Yeah.
Baz can hear the howling yelling of what sounds like centuries-old vulgarities being blurted in his head.
The response is just like a tinnitus-like silence.
Bloody crypt things. Almost as stubborn as the liches are. At least they stay down with the die. At least I think they do. I've never run into the same one more than once. So I think I have. There's a pensive moment as the Cardinal is very lost in thought. Have I killed the same crypt thing multiple times? Or what if there's only one of them and I've been misled?
Just this one crypt thing, out of spite, appears everywhere where the Cardinal goes.
Fucking skeletal.
Just picturing all the skeletons in his head. Like, This is just hundreds of really badly animated skeletons fading in as he thinks about them. This far off 1,000-yard stare.
As they throw off their head back to laugh.
Today I'll have 2 corn dogs. Meh.
He was in Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode.
Gee, how come your mom lets you have 2 corn dogs?
I have ligma.
Sigma.
After the conversation, Amont shouts in everyone's... Well, not no much a shout, more like a stern, "We need to leave."
But algae...
The only person who's been completely dedicated to
algae?
doing this job has been Ares.
I wasn't even the one contracted for it originally, too.
I know, but
I'm gonna take a big cut off the money from collecting algae, and I'm not gonna... I will fist fight people over this.
Has my crab returned? It did show up, right? One in the frog.
The frog is around, but the crab is not currently around. No.
I thought the crab...
No, that was a meme before the...
Yeah, it was
just a meme.
Yeah.
The crab is currently absent as it cannot move into this water. It is too fresh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Have I managed to collect even more bottles of algae?
Yes.
Very cool. How many more? Can I roll again for this?
Yes, please do.
Very cool. Just... What dice?
Same as last time, please.
D20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I pressed it. I don't know if it's happening.
We may never know.
Oh, there.
There it is! There it is! Roll that D10,000.
Yes. Oh no.
No.
Actually, you know what? No. Don't roll the D10,000.
Oh no.
Are you gonna roll it for the
He's
bottle of
being nice.
algae?
No,
How-
I'm not
No,
being
he's
nice.
not
roll
being
a,
nice. That's
roll
the
a
problem.
D20, please.
Oh. 17.
Okay. Roll me a D10, please.
Oh. 10.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Okay. And from there we go with... D6. Could you roll me 2D6, please?
2d6. 5 in total, 1 and 4.
1 and 4. And again.
I've accidentally fucking summoned something, trying to pick up a bottle of algae. 6 and 4.
Okay. With chiming tendrils. And could you also roll me, please? Yeah, could you roll me 1d6, please?
I'm sorry, guys. 3.
Could you roll me 1d100 3 times?
80, 71, and 33.
18.
Frankly, I
Carl,
think
you
this
have
is a
not
good
seen
sign.
the
Summon.
bad things I've summoned
21.
before. This feels a lot like a
Regenerate.
summoning table.
33. Okay. It didn't even... Okay, so this creature that you rolled is a slime that is made of the wind. There's a gas pocket with chiming tendrils, so literally like rustling, chiming winds that I was brushing through the trees.
Hold on.
And it can summon other copies of itself. It regenerates.
I have the exact
And
PNG
it
you need to
has a
use.
grapple bonus.
I just
a
wanted
fox square.
algae, okay? Don't give me that sigh. Here you go. I posted in players chat the...
Bill, I'm gonna need 2 more Witchlight tokens, please.
Okay, give me 1 second.
He's not even spawned in yet.
No, he is not. I'm doing all of this as a prepared action
How would you know, though?
because I have prepared for you all to do stupid shit.
Okay, you do need to be specific.
Yeah, it's not just like,
Here you go.
stupid shit. It's like, oh, if
how-
this
how
person
many-
does that.
It was 2 more Witchlights, right?
Yes,
You should have control of those.
I do. This is the rough position of the creature.
Mind you, it is not immediately hostile if it works with the summoning, so it can be befriended.
Roll the D20. Roll me a cast level check, please.
Yes. Let me find how to do that again. I forgot.
1d20 plus your level plus your casting modifier.
Okay. 1d20 plus... I forgot. I am slow. I apologize.
I believe it's intelligence modifier for you.
Yes. And then caster level, was it?
Yes,
Which would
be your level. So 3 plus your mod.
16.
You successfully gain control of the creature. And this will probably be over here next to the electrolyzed water. As you, using a fishing rod, just dislodge a large kind of bulbous mass of air trapped inside of an algae like dome.
Oh, slime. Also, again, Carl, you would know if you have like control over my character and whatever that I can take control of these summons. I just successfully rolled for that.
I'm not taking control of it. In an immediate reaction to Eris summoning the creature, Baz looks in her direction, turns around, and whispering words that the Cardinal can attempt to roll to understand, 3 ghost orbs begin to form around the creature, and one of them lifts high into the air. He can listen very closely and still roll to see if he can hear the spell being cast, as a shadow dagger begins to hover over the head of the creature, specifically hovering where the shadow is casted on the ground.
Okay. There's a very mild kind of outline as light streams through the creature. It is transparent.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a kind of a vague outline of shade of the very edges of the kind of cell wall of this creature.
That's fine.
Again, it seems to be some kind of conglomerate slime.
Mm-hmm. As long as it has a shadow, this will work.
Okay.
As long as it casts a shadow, excuse me.
But Eris, the hook of your fishing rod is hooked onto a little like chunk of algae that's floating around the top of the creature. It looks at you and once again begins chiming.
What?
Could I roll something to try and understand the chimes?
Do you speak Auran?
Let me check, and I can list off what I do speak in case it is something along the lines of it. I don't believe Auran in itself. I do have Common, Sylvan, Terran, Celestial, Abyssal, Aklon, Ancient Plateau. I would guess maybe Sylvan or Celestial could come close to it.
Sylvan would be closest. This is it is a. Should we say it is clearly a slime of some kind of elemental origin.
Mm-hmm.
Or naturalistic origin. I'm not sure which.
Concerning my
roll knowledge nature or planes, you may.
Nature.
Or dungeoneering.
Nature.
I'll roll to aid her. Also, is this language something that I would understand?
Do you have Sylvan?
I am an ancient being from beyond time.
Do you have either of those 2 languages?
It depends on if Bill wants to allow me.
Have you spent your languages yet?
I have not spent languages, no.
Well, pick them now. But it is locked in. You get like your int modifier of bonus languages after common. And I think you get Necril as a ghost.
Common, Necril, language of the divine.
Yeah, that would be Ancient Celestial. Okay. What was it? Lost my train of thought. Get knowledge points to 18. You don't know what this thing is. It is clearly some like. It has clear Fey origin.
Mm-hmm.
At least to you as someone who's a thing or two about nature. It looks as if it's kind of like perhaps a pet of some sort of Fey, as it's an elemental bound up in naturalistic materials to try and anchor it. Think of it like a big bubble elemental, but just tinged with Fey magic to form it around.
How many languages do I get, Bill?
What's your int mod? It's pretty high, right?
4.
Yeah, 4.
Let's see here. So you're giving me Necril. I have Common. I learned Patois from Eris.
You have not learned that yet. We have not sat down to learn it.
Okay, I'm gonna put a note. Asterisk. We'll learn later. I want language of demons.
Demons is abyssal.
And 1, 2, 3. Common is normal, yes?
Yes.
So that's already 3.
Mm-hmm.
2. Ancient Celestial.
I do understand what he says? On some part of this?
You don't. You pick up a few words here. That it's just. It just seems to be confused.
I would like to then just respond in Sylvan. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring you here. And just seem apologetic and friendly towards it.
It just eyes you oddly.
Do elementals speak a single language, or is it based on...
They have one language per element.
Ah, fuck.
Ignan for fire, Auran for air, Aquan for water. Terran for earth.
Can I find a stick? I'd like to try and draw in the ground. And just like basically do the thing of trying to explain in pictures. I'll just ask, 1 moment, please. So I'll go grab a stick and hopefully somehow I'm able to lay out an image, either with the stick or carving into the ground, or algae. Not sure what is everywhere now.
Roll me a diplomacy check, please.
Yes. Oh shit, my diplomacy is shit.
Mine's not! Roll aid.
1 moment.
What is the most local norm of...
Could I roll linguistics since I'm speaking, trying to also speak in Sylvan? Okay.
You may.
I will not roll to aid you.
Okay. I just have a shit diplomacy, so I'd rather roll something that I at least am not as bad at. 21.
Okay, between the two of you. It seems to be a bit more comfortable around you, but at the same time, it doesn't. It's like a stray cat. It's abiding your presence, but it isn't necessarily, too terribly fond of you.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling's probably mutual, so I can respect that.
It will move to try and skim off. Before it does, it looks back at you, and it kind of shifts slightly, and lobs a little chunk of the outer layer of algae that covers it onto the riverbank for you, and like drifts off, floating across the different chunks of swamp. It's almost like the ball from the prisoner.
I'll just say it as it floats away. I'll wish it a good travels and say thank you, as I will take the specific glob it threw out and put it into another bottle, depending how much it fills.
Yeah, it'll fill a bottle by itself.
Very cool.
It's oddly crystal. It's almost like this is like rigid structure to it. It's a bit more solid than the other slimes.
Aerated algae.
As the slime bounces off the directions, the 3 witch lights are going to start moving around the air like a PlayStation 2 paw symbol. They're then going to coalesce into one giant light and fly into Han's being. This does nothing to him. And Han will go back to controlling himself after dusting his body off and no longer speaking the ancient language that he was just speaking to cast those spells. The Cardinal can comment that he sees this.
I just look at the Cardinal and I...
So that's a thing you dealt with, eh?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got this big, vicious grin on his face.
I just smile and nod.
Eris will then, after collecting the algae, return to say, sorry about that. I
just remember, lad.
I slipped, but it's fine now.
Just remember, lad. He'll turn to Baz, just kind of grabs your forearm, just like this. There's always another way, and he'll slap a pamphlet into your hand.
It's going to proselytize. Would I have
No, you
any
look down.
idea-
It's a pamphlet for like a domestic abuse shelter.
Oh shit!
Just because he's dead doesn't mean he has to be a prick about it.
Bruh.
What the hell you're into?
Just
You haven't got any creepy crawlies in there, have you? You put a kind of prod you in the chest a couple times. You haven't caught some kind of ghost clap.
Ghost
Ghoul
blood
clap.
drop. Ooh.
I grin
Arthur,
at him.
Undead
And nod.
that begins with a C. Only 8 for alliteration. Arthur will kind of stand up, scratch the back of his head. Alep! No, doesn't sound right. Anyway. Back to your, what you got? What's the story? You need help with anything? You seem to be in some distress.
I think I'll need some help probably getting back to town. I have tried to summon my crab. I'll try again.
Far inland.
Oh,
He's like, I hope not. You'll poke Baz again. So you better not be getting crabs this far inland. Not on church property anyway.
So it doesn't appear that my crab can. It doesn't appear my crab can make it over here. So yeah, we might need. At least I would need some assistance probably getting back because my legs, obviously a bit fucked.
Baz, do you choose to reject the mental voice that is about to project into your head?
If it projects in my head, then I won't resist.
I will walk her. Neri, do you resist to hear the voice that is about to project into your head?
No.
Stand up. I will walk you.
I feel like Almonda's been to like one of those consent what do you call it, seminars, you know.
Are you
like,
thinking,
stop. Don't touch me there. This is my private square.
Are you thinking this thought right now actively in your head?
I think you've been to a consent seminar?
No.
Yes.
Do you actively say the name Amant?
Yeah.
Do not disgust me with the disgusting vile beast!
Oh, fuck. I thought that was your name.
That is not my name. That is the beast I am stuck with. In the side of your head. He's awake!
Wait, what? What is happening?
Everyone else in the psychic network is going, ah. As everyone's now getting a full force domestic dispute in their heads.
The voice that is calm basically is pointing a psychic finger towards Bill. Can you do the thing with the picture, please? Also, more importantly, does everybody choose to think actively about the voices that are being heard in their head?
I would like to roll perception to not. I don't like listening in on arguments.
But
everyone awkwardly shuffles to one of the other Discord chats.
Yeah, just everyone goes to the other Discord channel.
Everyone goes on
I got a phone call and another chat, boys. I'll be right back.
Shit.
Oh, my dinner's ready. Shit.
Mr. Chubbs wants to go gaming. Sorry.
I'm going for a pee. I'll be right back.
So this will just be for the benefit.
It's
So
temporarily AFK.
So it'll be for the benefit of Baz, Neri, and chat. Upon listening to the two distinct voices, they are recalled to see the face of what would have been this being's face in life, and are noticeably attracted to the very dark sclera, but very well lit up cornea, one turquoise teal, the other a deep purple violet.
Oh boy, got heterochromia.
The voice that speaks as the being that has been pronouncing itself as Amant Brut Alban de Fogby, translated from Creole Haitian as Makwa Libre Karaze, the maw of shattered freedom, is cackling like a demon, reverberating underneath his voice.
What the hell is going on? I will say that out loud.
The Cyan Eye, the being known as L'Esprit Repertoire Kaze, not Krazi, Kaze, L'Esprit Repertoire Kaze, the spirit of the broken reaver, actively is pointing a psychic finger at Amant screaming, "You have defiled our way of being! You silence yourself! I will deal with you later." Psychically, the Cyanide turns towards Neri. "Can you stand?"
I don't actually know, can I? What should I roll for that, Bill?
Sorry, for what specifically, sorry?
Just know if I can even stand up.
If you stand on this for too long, the position that the cut's in, it's right on the ankle joint.
Right.
And it's quite deep, so there's really no way to walk on it without a full splint.
I can maybe stand.
If you had a
but I
stick.
can't walk. Yeah.
I have a solution.
Well, you know what we also have is a lot of crowbars.
And Daz has his, I think, 10-foot pole. If he's
right.
willing to, like...
Yeah, you could just use that.
Sure. What about the crab?
Also, Eris went off to collect more algae to dissociate.
Wait,
Surely nothing will go wrong this time.
Let me ask a question. This is so. If I summon my Shellstriker gauntlets, could I like dismiss them to like move me around like little crabs, just carry me about? Because my Shellstriker gauntlets are made out of crabs.
What I was going to do was I was going to use your Mage Hand and a combination of Shadow Trap to keep your bones in place, while I use your Mage Hand to basically act as a splint.
I mean, the bones aren't
It's telekinesis. It's minor telekinesis. Yeah, but it's
also
quite similar.
It's just the issue of there's like rest of the infection is being fought off. I don't think her ankle was broken.
It's not broken, it's just a deep cut. It's like down to the bone. The major issue is less the pressure, it's more the movement of the flesh, and of course the proximity to the ground, because you can't really, until the swelling goes all the way down, there's really nowhere to wear a boot over this. Like you've got some gauze and such on it, but there's only so much you can do to really protect it. It should be right.
Keep it
right
off the
in a couple of
ground.
days.
Use a stick.
Man, if only there was some sort of a horse you could ride atop.
That flashbanged you when you awoke.
To be fair, a lot of people are a bit reticent to ride around on Findus. He kind of gives out a bad vibe a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Could I summon my crab gauntlets and use them so the crabs can just carry me?
Unfortunately, the Akashic crabs do not stick around after they're dismissed.
If I'm using the Akasha, though. And this is a totally I'm really stretching here, obviously, but I'm wondering if.
By the way,
would allow that.
didn't we have a cart that was like a ways out, away from the church? Or am I misremembering?
I swore you left it behind.
Yeah, I thought we did.
We had to move out from quite a ways because of the swamp.
Yeah.
But outside the swamp, yeah, you could quite happily have the cart there.
The language of the gods is ancient celestial, right?
Yes.
What is the general population spread of this continent? And what languages do they speak?
The continents usually speak common plus their regional dialect. For the island, it's Lycian Patois. To the north is Ustalav, which speaks Ustalavi. East is Galt, which speaks Galtic. Kionin to the south east speaks Elvish.
Can I learn these languages?
You have to study them for a while.
Yes. Yes. If I study them, can I learn those languages?
Yes, but it would just take quite a while to learn the new language.
I'll just make the fourth language Elvish.
Okay.
It was between that or Dragon. Anyways.
I can do. And
that'll seal the 4 languages.
Okay.
More importantly, who here is considered the leader of this group?
Deathly silence.
Yeah, everyone's like.
Well, I guess that would be me.
You.
Yeah, you. Yeah, Baz. It's Baz.
You. What has this foul beast done with me while I was unconscious in my own mind?
Fuck, I don't know. He's just been body hopping. So that's what you're talking about.
Be specific. Whom has he forced himself inside of?
As the rest of the party looks at the camera.
Just look at the rest of the party.
Eris will raise her hand, looking very sad.
Neri will as well, just slowly also.
This will look very weird for like all the church members who just like see us
like
raising our hands. And
it's weird for people who are in the know. It's like a fucking Lifetime movie of the victims of R. Kelly. Who else here has been affected by this man? And they all like, me, and me, and me. Like it's fucking Spartacus.
The friendly spirit is going to slowly put your hands down and make it look as though you are stretching. Please do not tell people that you are possessed.
Well, I'm not currently, but I will raise my hand. Haha.
You're feeling a bit out of sorts by now, but it's important I give you the, shall we say, the accoutrement of your station.
Ah, yes.
Here you go. You lot have earned this. Hand these out to your fellows. He'll hold over a box of, at least enough for the church's members here, of these flares. It's a simple tube, not unlike a hand crossbow or a pistol, if you know about those. And we'll fire a single flare, skyward. It comes with a big rack of different coloured flares.
Mm-hmm. Baz, hold on to the second flare that would have been given to me. Well, actually, no. Just ask him for 2 flares.
Each person gets like 1 of each flare.
I'm not a person, Bill.
It's an industrial box. Don't worry about it.
Okay. More importantly, because I'm going to need to fill up the box really quick.
And
this is the ammo box.
And in accordance with your station, I'm going to give you this. He'll hold up a small pendant.
I will examine the pendant carefully.
It's very nicely made. It depicts essentially it is a small charm to one of the saints. Specifically one of the saints associated with protecting travellers on the road.
What is it made out of curiosity?
The locket itself is gold. It's a cameo, and it's made from a mix of what appears to be probably ivory of some kind, and darkwood.
Nice.
It's a very nicely made little piece.
I will put it around my neck and thank the Cardinal for it.
You earned it, lad. Not many people could do that. All this on their first day.
Yeah, not without some help. Silence yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a team effort, but I appreciate the sentiment, Cardinal.
So I heard. So, our boys will be done soon. Boss, you're going to want to come look at this. You might all want to come look at this. And
Goody.
As the team inside exit, both of them are in this essentially kind of medieval equivalent of hazard gear. Astra's undersuit for her armor has been pulled all the way up and closed her completely like a diving suit. Dusty is wearing a more piecemeal setup with a heavy canister breathing mask. Yeah, we found something bad, boss. I'm sorry, Cardinal. I see all of this is bad. Ooh, that's not good. As in the center of the room here, in one of the sarcophagi, there is this thin streams of grey mist just pouring over the edge of the coffin. Don't go too close. I wasn't expecting to find something like this here. You haven't been fussing around or anything in there, have you? He's turning to you, Buzz.
To what extent do you mean fussing about? We've not been opening any coffins, at least.
I hope so. But that, he'll point.
Yeah, we weren't trying to come here to defile anything. We were just
The
trying
glint
to help
of
out.
inside the sarcophagus is a glint of something.
What are we looking at, Cardinal?
We might have just dug up one of the most dangerous things you're ever likely to encounter. That isn't, kicking about by itself, of course.
A woman?
Worse.
God.
You point over, and your eyes just catch it out in the darkness.
Dagger?
Not just any dagger, son. You get close to that just a little bit now. Not more than 2 steps forward, though. You'd like to guide your hand outwards, and your hand, at a certain point, your hand hits this wall of just frigid air. It completely saps the heat from your limbs. Hear that? Witch flame. You don't see it very often these days. You only see on really old crypts. And a knife like that. There's not many things that can take around one of those things. And the body's not even here.
I presume it's not exactly something you want to be touching directly.
Not if you want to keep your soul.
Understood.
Or end you clean out. Right. Get after him, Bodge, to get the tongs. It's going to be a long day. I have to decontaminate the whole place. Don't worry, lad. We'll get this place sealed up.
Baz, do you choose to resist the voice that is about to go into your head?
Not if it's in my head.
I need you to keep your eyes on that dagger and assist me in identification the item in question. Lord Dracana?
Bill, could I use Sense Evil on it? On the dagger? Let's see if I get stun locked by it.
Okay. I'm not going to be... I'm not a big proponent of the stun lock thing. That's only for, like, you're looking at a god. I feel like it's... I feel like I've used it in the past. In this case, it's just this dull heat. Dull, like, it's like a... It's like a hot pan, almost. Or a hot trellis for a fireplace. It's that very subtle, quiet, burning hot heat that smolders in your vision. It smells like magical rot. It's like a saw in the winds of magic.
And Baz, do you roll to aid the roll?
Yes. So add +4 to that.
Okay. 25 Arcana.
That is what's known as a barrow blade. They are similar. They are kind of successors to weapons made of morgathite and other such special spangly materials intended to be used by the profane. In this case, a barrow blade is the result of a very, very old magical weapon that has not been properly prepared by modern standards. So as it ages, the enchantments begin to degrade. As similarly, there is no enchantment to maintain the structure of the magical item. As they rust and get older, the enchantment breaks down and converts from a precise magical effect to a horrid, rupturing, like seething curse that permeates the blade. Normally, these kinds of enchanted weapons are only really found amongst the crypts of particularly high-level undead. Because if you're old enough and powerful enough to have these kinds of weapons at the time, you were a force to be reckoned with. Not every chieftain would have had one, even a regularly enchanted weapon. the field of permanently enchanting weapons it has grown as fast as computing technology has in our world. There was a time where having an enchanted weapon was dangerous inherently. And this is a weapon from that age. This is a dagger from the turn of the Iron Age. They were very well put together.
Must say, Colonel, it reminds me of a shield we encountered a bit further in. Not mind you, the shield wasn't anywhere near as intense as this one was, but seemed similar in terms of it being in decay.
What we'll do, time being, could you give me a quick hand with this lid? Just be very careful.
Very well.
He'll go up. You see him he hefts this granite lid of the sarcophagus pretty easily. But he's just a bit awkward with his angling and really does need you there to nudge it around to the right location.
All right. I'll use power to try and basically help him with stabilizing.
Yep. Yeah. Between the two, you easily lift into place. As you do, he grabs out a bag of salt and pours a circle around. Would you pray with me as well?
Gladly.
Excellent. There's a lot of muttering and some mild chanting. You don't recognize the language that he's chanting in. After a while, there's a crackling line of white sparks that fly across all the line of salt, and it has formed itself into this metallic sediment, almost like a mercury amalgam or a molten lead. And the sarcophagus is, for the most part, semi-sealed. It will prevent magical emanations from the sarcophagus. Well, you know how to pick them. First you clear out all the undead, and now this.
Would you like me to call a prayer for the deceased who is within this coffin?
Much prouder than that, lad, I'm afraid. There's no blighter in there.
Ah. Huh.
Overleft that shank stick behind. Happened to make off with the body.
Right. That's a cause for some concern, to say the least.
I'll have to bring it up at the next meeting of the Church's Guild. It's going to be an ugly one.
Well, at least things won't be boring around these parts.
Oh, never bleeding
He
is.
says with a sly grin.
What is it the Tianjia say? When you live in interesting times? The bastards.
Yeah.
So, let's get out of here for the time being. Get some fresh air. Still stinks of death. Good grief. Bodge, Arthur, get your fancy materials gear. You need it. They'll give their little nods and potter off to go get their gear together. And you see them putting on some fairly heavy-duty looking, what appears to be diving equipment.
Are they going full on Chernobyl, seemingly?
They're gearing up like newbie stalkers, like wetsuits and gas masks.
Bruh. Nice.
All like rubberized and made of asbestos.
Looking forward.
The very finest equipment that starting gear can buy.
Indeed. Oh, by the way, Cardinal, we did find some less disconcerting things inside, such as a whole keg of Stella Fatois.
Oh, that's not a name I've heard in a while.
Now, I keenly remember some form of a ritual that can transform a keg into an endless keg if procedures are followed correctly. So I figured that could make for a good laugh at the Church's Guild at some point. Although, you know,
What do you think?
it would make for a good punch out so long as medics are on standby and all that.
So I might want to go back to the guild, the muster hall for that one. I think we're going to be pottering around this place and all the water around.
Indeed. I believe you're to the lads brought it back earlier. He points at these two. You're putting on the diving gear.
Yeah, the Bodge brothers. You can always rely on them to do the busy work.
Oh, they're good at it.
Bloody good at it.
They don't seem to complain either, which is a hell of a trait.
That's a job, brothers. Absolutely stalwart. Couldn't ask for finer workmen. You hear a argument between the lady with the poleaxe and the archer, and they all, both go to their opposite sides of the horse.
Could I roll perception to try and listen in to this?
No.
All right.
You're rolling for perception?
Yep.
It's enough. They're not very subtle about it. The exchange goes as such. You know, if you're no more reasonable, people wouldn't call you such a brat. So the retort to which is, and if you were more reasonable, people wouldn't call you a nonce behind your back. And they both immediately go to the opposite sides of the horse to see each other.
Oh yeah, Bill, you forgot to have the one with the long arm hit Mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot the context and the why.
He basically got fresh with her.
Ah, yes. Good point.
Lamau.
Mark, what's your AC?
Oh no.
At 12, you say?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
What was your AC?
Uh, 13.
Ah, I see. I see. Asmar finds himself the proud bearer of a new black eye. As a woman who comes up to like barely his chest, goes, slaps him across the face, looks down at the gauntlet she's wearing, went, ooh, no, I didn't mean to do that. So you can see her just slap, looks at hand, looks at gauntlet, like panic seizes her entire body. And she kind of just like hurriedly tries to like clamber it off of her arm.
I'm gonna lick my lips at her.
Her entire like body cringes so hard that her face could form a fist. She's like, and kind of shuffles backwards and trips over the chain.
I do like a wink as well.
I just sort of nudge the cardinal and whisper to him, I hope that suit of plate doesn't look too noble. I wouldn't want to associate with that folk. For those reasons, as he points in her direction.
You're more likely to be mistaken for a windmill than what we've got planned for you. Don't worry.
Excellent. Wouldn't be the first time.
So you run across with that Tolden lad who's been running around with the lance.
I believe the term is jolly windmill or something.
Ah, the other windmills. I see. Samsonite, right?
Yeah.
Thought you were. The accent gives you away. Always tell us from the north because we all sound like we've been drinking whiskey all day.
Indeed.
Right. No more dawdling, people. Back to work. It even means you, princess. He'll kind of jab a chubby finger at the air towards the now in repose, shall we say, knightlet on the ground.
Mark, are you going to resist what's about to happen to your body?
Oh no!
Jesus Christ.
I was trying to answer that in a humorous way, but I can't do that without it sounding sexual. So, yeah.
You resist what's happening to your body.
Come on down.
The rope falls from your waist. That's it.
Cool. Check
Now.
that my trousers are still up, and then
Yes.
So
Yes.
let out some relief.
Bill, what is the perception generally of everybody in the area?
It varies. What's the important thresholds here?
Proximity of them seeing what is happening to the chest.
The chest, specifically.
Yes.
Okay, where is the chest at these days?
My player icon is on top of it.
Cool. The Cardinal clearly has a fairly, astute gaze. He knows when he can keep a good appraisal of his surroundings. The lady in the not quite full plate, the munitions plate, doesn't seem to have the best perception. The archer has very good perception. The drunkard has very poor perception, and the Bodge brothers, the big one has pretty good perception. The short one is blind, but has 15 feet of blind sight.
Nice. This switchlight will do. You can get rid of this second one that's in front of us. If anyone in the area chooses to comment, they will notice that there is a witch light that is now hovering against the wall. And as it hovers against the wall, the length of rope that is not being concealed inside of the rope trick slowly unravels itself from around the chest that was currently attached to Mark's waist. And can see the length of rope lift up into the air, create a loop, and now hover in air, seemingly anchored into the spot where the shadow is held on the wall, giving a handhold for the woman to stand up. The rope jiggles in the air as though offering a hand.
The now muddied knight will kind of... She'll hook onto the... where the rope is hooked with a poleaxe and just kind of lever herself up that way.
The rope will start teetering backwards as though being driven up with the force of Rope Trick's maximum weight velocity to rig her back upright.
As she kind of gets flung back up to her feet.
The rope
she looks around terribly confused. There's this horrid-looking abomination of a dog. And there's this weird light that's projecting like insubstantial objects, and an enormous amount of force.
The witch light will just basically fly around her to make sure that she's standing upright and fine, and then will settle over the chest, and the rope will then restrain itself to the position it originally was in.
Okay.
At this point, she's got she's not even wielding a pole arm. She's like holding it to her chest, like she's hugging onto it like a security blanket. I'm just looking fearfully between like the light and the dog, and the light and the dog.
Does the Cardinal say anything?
He'll kind of crane his neck and look at what's going on the other side of Comrade III. So, how much of a pain in the backside has he been so far?
Hi.
Figured as much. It's before my time and before my father's 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 time. That we do have him on record. Didn't think anyone would be running around down this neck of the woods. I expect to see him in my lifetime. But these are the cards we're dealt after all with the Creator.
Indeed.
Cardinal, have mercy upon us all. So,
Is the Cardinal talking about my character?
you're not sure if he is.
Baz, you hear a voice in your head. You hear two of them. Do you choose to ignore the one that you're hostile towards?
Yes.
He auto succeeds.
You basically hear a muffled cackling of laughter and obscenities when he realizes nobody can hear him.
Oh, I should have dropped my dice.
The good voice reverberates. Ask him. Ask him what happened.
So, Cardinal, what exactly is his story?
We don't have much. And it's a big plague in the area. At the time he was swinging about, You know, he's a bit of a upstart in the region. He's kind of guru. You know, the other sorts. So, we don't really have much more beyond that. We don't really go back that far as an organisation. Only a generation or two after all. You saw the church, just know you at the Church's Guild. Still under the royal decree back in those days. Sure.
Voice presses. Ask him what royals.
So, what royalty was there at that time?
You see, like, this, like, just. He starts counting off. I think we're back into the I've been maybe the chieftain days. A little after. So it would have been king. He's on the tip of my tongue. No, it's not. He rolled a 1. Be careful with memory rolls, kids. It can lead to misadventures. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Man, dementia in this world is something.
Goddamn dementia. I done gone too far from home this time. 1, 2, 3. 1. 2, 3, 1. He's invisible to himself. Good to know.
Lamau.
Just casually goes back to the church, looks in the mirror. Oh God, a vampire!
Not again.
Where am I?
What year is it? Sorry, couldn't tell you offhand. Bit before my time.
Know of anyone who's like more of a book type within the Judge's Guild?
Well, you look over to the elf, who is currently passed out on a bar stool he brought with him to the swamp. He's like, his feet are hooked into the bar stool. He sat on it, but he himself is like bent backwards over the whole stool.
I'll just sort of do a double take on him as if to say, like, is he really a member of the Church's Guild? I thought he was a bounty hunter.
This is a little far away look on the card. We've employed some very strange people over the years. And unfortunately for us, Big Ted is one of the few people who can really go toe-to-toe with some of the gribblier things we fight.
Right.
He's a bit touched. That's to say.
Well, that's what the liquor helps with.
You're learning already, lad. I think.
Precisely.
You'll make a great cardinal yourself one day. Who knows? Maybe even a bishop.
We'll see. One step at a time, sir.
Don't worry, keep on the straight and narrow. You'll rise through the ranks fast enough. Just look at Soma. He only started a couple of years ago. Nowadays, they've got him lined up to succeed as the leader of the Order of the Burning Sun.
Oh, Soma. Yeah, he's a good lad. Interesting fella.
Good lad. Not always the best at understanding orders, but, you know, stand against our good compatriots.
He's effective at taking care of things, put it that way.
That's the nickname.
Exactly.
Now, we're... Us in the northern coast, we know what's what, don't worry. We're not too hung up on the punishment thing like the west coast is.
Always seemed like such a bother.
Yeah, tell me about it. You'll hear the sound of someone walking across gravel to the south.
The witch light is going to move south of Baz and kind of like hover in the air, circling around everyone's heads.
as that's going on, someone is moving up the pathway. So what the hell are you lot looking at then? Cardinal, I'm here with your request. And a few bits of post and packaging for the good people around. So who'll be first? Preferably whoever I brought this thing for. And the gentleman in the kettle helm, who you've met before, Kanan, I've motioned towards a coffin that he's dragging. For goodness sake, man! At least try and put up on a dolly or something. It's a reliquary, not a bloody shipping crate. Yeah, well, your higher-ups, Cardinal, paid for shipping crate, not for coffin.
The ghost light will move to the eye line of the cardinal and start making symbols in the air in common. It generally spells out, do you need assistance lifting that?
No, I bloody don't. And the cardinal will kind of enough walk over and lift the coffin himself. The man's as fat as the man is. He's got arms like tree trunks. Yeah.
Just in from Zalmas for $100. The
Whoa,
post has
holy shit.
arrived.
Funny you should say that. It has.
Oh no! Thank you, Zamas.
Thank you, Zalmas. Very cool. And
that's
Jesus
awesome.
Christ.
Thank you, but bruh.
Very based.
The cardinal will topple forward slightly as he moves, because it's clear that as stable as he is, there are limitations to how much like tactile strength one have.
I'll help him with putting it down.
Yeah. That's my thing in this down swamp.
Yeah.
And I've got other post. Got for okay, Ted. Here you go. Another one from the Wine of the Month Club. You fucking alky. And the Ultra bargain. He'll rub his hand. As he just lurches himself back up to sitting up straight from, being asleep on the ground, hanging off a stool. He just kind of. It's almost like Michael Myers rising back up. Just whoosh, straight back up. And kind of tilt his kettle helm as he tries to read. So, E and R, and is it pronounced Eri?
I believe that's for Eris.
Yeah.
Telegram. I don't see many of these. No one even has the kits anymore.
Oh, thank you.
And let's see. As he moves around, bills, just throwing wads of different, what appears to be fairly official-looking paperwork at various people. And as he does so, he accidentally nudges, like quite roughly, though apparently accidentally, shoves Comrade. As he kind of looks like he loses his footing somewhat and connects with you shoulder first. Oh. Sorry, mate.
Bitch.
Oh no.
Sorry, mate. I lost my footing in this damn swamp.
I'll do detect bourgeoisie.
He does not flag as bourgeoisie. And the equipment he's got is quite humble.
Alright, I'll give him a little nod then. Yeah, he gets a little nod instead of a fight.
As you nod, you notice that something is hanging down from the very top of your Ushanka.
Alright, well I'll touch it to see what it is.
As you scratch your head and just try and cover up, there's a card.
Well, I would like to read it.
The card reads very simply. You are not alone in your deeds or in your inclinations. There are others like you. And on the reverse side, it will be a very, you can barely notice it. It almost looks like just a stain or a smudge of pen, but it's a very tiny red star.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'll put it under my hat.
Okay.
I'll look around to see if anyone else noticed.
No, seems to have noticed as far as I'm aware. As other people want to roll
Then I'll
try and notice it.
Start whistling the Soviet national anthem to myself. Real subtle, like.
Okay. We'll go down the gear. First of all, the equipment you've requested, Han, has arrived.
Excellent.
Well, you did give it over quite a bit, so perhaps not the best artwork I could have used, but I do think it really does show off what it looks like.
I see.
The schism plate of Saint Karpov of Anatolia.
A ornately decorated but rugged suit of full plate, dedicated with sacred oils and expertly crafted ornaments that denote all three of the metallic dragons of law. The armor is decorated to denote the rank of bishop. Now, at your touch, you notice that the different, because there is a clear graduation of decoration when it comes to ecclesiastical armor. Your rank as neophyte, everything above the rank of neophyte turns a burnished grey. So now the armor will denote the rank of neophyte. Specifically, a neophyte at arms. That is a richly ornamented piece of armor, and very well put. Also, sized for a absolute giant of a man.
Well,
Mark,
I won't have to worry about the tight fit. Excellent.
Mark, do you resist what's currently happening to your person?
Pardon?
Do you resist what's currently about to happen to your person?
No.
You notice that the bag of holding is now floating in midair. The rope is still secured to the chest, but you notice that the bag of holding has floated off of your person and is now floating freeform in air, attached to the rope on the chest.
Like a balloon?
Yes.
Right. I'll grab that then, and I'll be like, look guys, I got a balloon.
The lady in the armor will kind of retreat to behind the wall.
Mark, do you resist the voice?
It's clear that professional regard, for one standing in the church guild has been overridden by sheer confused terror.
Mark, do you resist the voice that is about to protect you to your head?
No, I welcome the voice into my head.
Please let go of the rope.
It's a big floating
Right,
bag.
I let go of the rope. Away.
The bag of holding is now dragging the chest on the ground as it positions itself in front of the cardinal. The bag's lip opens slightly. The cardinal can now see a pair of eyes in the darkness of the bag, staring at him.
Well, if it isn't the invisible bastard. He's come down at you quite jovially. He seems more intrigued than anything else.
Does the cardinal choose to take time staring into the darkness to perceive the form staring back at him?
Yes, he will.
The cardinal, upon staring closer to the eyes, can see that the eye that would be in the position of the lavender is forcibly being held closed, and only the cerulean eye is staring at him. The eyes are still glowing, but one is glowing more brightly than the other. So you have heard of me.
Only a thing or two, but nothing a bit more reading can't hurt.
I forgive the unnecessary poltergeist behavior. I do not like being perceived. And, to be fair, Cardinal, I have just been revived 4 hours ago.
And already so much havoc caused.
That was not my doing. It was, but it is hard to explain.
Goodness me, worse than the usual sort. 2-for-1 deal.
What I can say is that your new neophyte is responsible for my revival.
He'll look down at Baz.
He just sort of sheepishly looks back, says, "Yeah, I guess it sort of happened when I pulled the sword out of the tree.
I would have done the same. Just at your age.
It's a pretty nice sword. Bronze and all that. Black bronze as well.
I am less concerned with my revival and more with what I had been doing since reclaiming my mind. You see, Cardinal, it is, as he might not have even told you since of my proclivities, but I am a descendant and worshipper of Arashia, the goddess of freedom. But unfortunately, in my age, long before your forefathers, I behaved in the capacity of, I will describe it as a spy master. But I had a title in that church, upon which this land originally was owned by my goddess. Someone, something, or some god, sealed me through exorcism, and in doing so, fractured my mind.
He'll reach into his sleeve and bring out a big bottle of what appears to be burgundy wine. Takes to his lips. Wouldn't be the first example I've seen.
What I can tell
Oldest,
you,
maybe.
what I can tell you from my memory, this place belonged to my goddess and was flourishing before the drain of sorrows. Everyone was made into a ghoul. The ghoul thing that they have openly told you about. I believe if it was not some unfortunate fool made to give a task, was a man who was sealed inside the church with wards and ceilings. Upon my release, I noticed him breaking them from inside out. I believe it is a harmless thing, but it is sitting upon a necropolis of the dead.
Don't worry. That strain of the ghoul fever we've had a cure for a little while now. We'll have to try and piece people back together. But we can, at least in my mind, I reckon we could do some good here. At least lay people to rest. Goodness knows they've been, what you've been telling me, and he'll check over a bag of, he's handed by one of his compatriots a bag of some of the essential salts that are in the area. At the very least, with a little time and some dedication and some very, very bored members of the clergy, we can get these people pieced back together and at least put to rest.
My request is very simple. This place belongs to lands that are not of your claim. The church, I do not care for. With the homesteads, I wish to see them rebuilt. This place effectively is my home. All of you technically are trespassing, but the church should be responsible for keeping these people from being re-essentialized into their souls. I do not want to see the plains overwhelmed by the dead.
Don't worry. We'll have our finest people down here, making sure that these people remain at rest. Some, if they're not too advanced, might even be curable. Again, you should all gird your expectations. There's only so much we can do. You know.
I have a request.
Do tell.
This ghostly form of mine, it is not how I wish to walk about on this plane. Originally, I had a body, crafted and marbled of stone. Actuated by the powers of my goddess, I can possess it as flesh. but I do not know how to make this, nor do I know how to find the materials. I need stonemasons.
I'm going to put you in touch with
Oh,
someone.
hell yeah, we got to get more rock people involved, I see.
I would be more concerned.
I reckon I could put you in touch
Yeah,
with
it is a
people.
little bit concerning.
But first and foremost, I need to get you sanctioned. Don't want to be running around and run into the West Coasters. They'd bamf you in a moment.
Quite. It's why I've been hiding myself from you.
Right.
Quite frankly.
He'll reach into his sleeve again, and he'll take out what appears to be a handkerchief. He will get out a quill, or at least a pen that he's carved, dip it in a travel pot of ink, and quickly write out, scratching it as fast as he can. And you see the word provisional. He'll then spit on the back of it and reach into the bag and stick it to your chest with one thumb. Just
he's sticking a piece of paper to, okay.
Yeah. And as you read it, it will, if you can just about make out from the handwriting, provisional sanction by order of the Church's Guild.
And I presume this script is your permission for me to exist.
That would be correct. Keeps the witch hammers off your back.
If the Cardinal continues locking eyes with the spectral figure in the bag, he'll see the lavender eyes start to glow profusely, but it'll be toned down by the cerulean. Thank you.
See, it's not so difficult to. We're pretty accommodating over here. You just don't have, as long as you don't take the piss. He'll give you a smile like a shark. There's a distinct, unwelcome nature. It does appear. It's almost like a pit bull looking at you, and it's not a smile. It's just that he's showing all his teeth. And for a lad as large as this, it's a lot of teeth.
The cerulean eye is going to stare at him, while the lavender eye is making an expression as though it's smiling back.
So he'll pat Baz on the shoulder. We'll get you and all of your mates well accommodated for.
Thank you,
Sound good to you? So.
Both pairs of eyes are going to dart between Baz and the Cardinal. The bag's going to hover backwards slightly within half of the 5 foot, looking at Baz, looking at the Cardinal, looking at Baz, looking at the Cardinal. The cerulean eye looking at Baz, saying, I do not trust him, but I will trust you. Later, underneath reinforcements in a tavern, I will explain my situation. For now, I will yield to the Church's means. Looking back at the Cardinal, both eyes glowing. I am older than all of you, but I accept your terms.
Much appreciated. Right. I believe you have got a big barrel of beer that we've moved back.
Indeed.
And I think that's in well need of drinking. So we'll get some people, we'll have a whip round, see who else we can find who wants to buy in and get that little shindig of yours set up. Get this place inaugurated, as it were. Meanwhile, Eris, you have been given by the gentleman a very finely made piece of paper with a wax seal on the front.
I'll actually wait until we're out of the swamp and probably my hands are I'm covered in algae.
Okay.
And I'd rather not dirty the letter. Basically, I'll read it in between.
Just so you know, Kanan, you ran into before. He was one of the gentlemen at the mustering hall. Mm-hmm. You know he's a member of the King's Guild, so a member of the King's Foresters.
Yeah.
He's the crossbowman you met earlier. So if you're looking to speak to someone from the, I know you mentioned earlier, are you looking to speak to someone from the Foresters Guild?
Yeah, it was just about some, like, I have a, like, masterwork great axe, and I will not be able to wield that. And I just want to bring, basically, the guild pack and, like, ask if, like, some changes can be made. That's basically the gist of that.
Certainly. I can have a word with the higher-ups. We often do trade-ins.
Nice. Thank you.
Oh. And you want to give me this one before I showed off what I could do with them. He'll show he's got a very heavy-duty arbalist crossbow with the Krannigan. So this crossbow must have a 1,500-pound draw on it.
Oh God.
It is a very heavy-duty crossbow. Still, beats looking at Pavis everywhere. Like I was in the early days. Okay, that paperwork. Let's see. Anyone else want to do anything here at the actual yard? Currently, the lads are currently like prepping the place to reseal the ceiling so that it doesn't get any leaks. So what was that, Penny?
Collect my algae until I get physically dragged from this place because everyone else is leaving.
Okay.
This place is gonna be barren.
Every ounce of algae in the immediate vicinity has been completely scraped into bottles. There are milk crate upon milk crate of empty milk bottles just filled to bursting with algae samples.
Wonderful.
The chest and the bag are going to float over to Eris. Eris, would you like to face the bag to speak to the character?
I am busy collecting algae.
On a tether.
Eris is very autistically devoted to this task, if you haven't noticed.
On a tether, the bag sweeps around, and the open hole is facing you.
What is it? I'll be looking at algae, but I'm at least listening.
Take the chest. The rope now jettisons itself towards you.
Why? I
It's
am
a
not the
chest.
strongest. I think Baz or Neri might be a better pick.
I don't need you to drag the chest. It's for you to put the algae away.
Yeah, I can. Well, normally I'd be cool to take up the chest or help, but at the current moment, I think I'm a little bit unable to help much.
Also, I've just been advised by Zalmus, read the note, Penny. I wonder. Maybe I should read it after all. There's a nagging voice in the back of my head.
Can use your mage hand.
Put on the fucking collar.
He's not speaking through your head. He's actively talking.
Oh no,
to
I
you.
meant Zalmus. It's the
Okay.
nagging voice.
He just detaches the rope from the chest, and now the bag is just floating with the rope.
Having to balance the in-game and out-of-game voices in your brain.
This.
Bag floats away.
Voices.
When you're schizophrenic, but are also actually possessed, as well. It's a rough time.
Schizoids with suddenly donations coming in of just in $100 from someone.
Okay, would you like to open the piece of paper?
Yes, then I would have liked to do that before Carl came around.
Okay.
He's not standing near you.
This is typed, which is very rare. As printing technology is very crude, at least on the island. Elsewhere, it is a bit more advanced. But here it is. If you'd like to read that out to the party, you may. If not, you keep it to yourself.
Ours is gonna have a mental breakdown.
For those of you at home, for those of you who listen to this like a podcast, I don't know how I do sometimes, there is a telegram. There are some spelling errors which are intentional. So, after all that awful business in the city, we lost track of you. My only hope is that this letter finds you well. If there is one thing left that I believe in, it's the mail. The boys of the Pony Express are dogged and determined. There was an accident. Catherine and Sebastian are lost to me. Stop. All that is left is vengeance. Stop. Enclosed is the last shred of my humanity, comma. The path I walk, it will only weigh me down. Regretfully, comma, Blackwell. For those who have not seen it, a reference to our sister series previous to this one, The City of Seven Seraphs, which we will link in the description when we get around to it.
Eris first appeared.
Yep.
She was a problem in the first session.
And there is a wax seal on the interior of the envelope.
Does it look like there's more?
No, it's a chunk of wax. It's very intricately designed.
I'll do my best to keep that wax seal safe.
Okay.
Or else we'll be mentally just panicking.
If you want to roll a spellcraft, you may.
Yes.
Because this thing is like you can feel the magic hum from this thing.
Don't roll badly. Oh, 14. Can I ask Mr. Chubbs if you can help? Considering this is important. Cool.
Looks like your friend sent you something. He had to write down. If you're in need of a friend, hell, I think you are already. Go ahead and snap that bit of wax.
Okay. She'll take a look at it, appreciate the design, and then snap it.
As the rune seal breaks and the wax immediately liquefies, draining down your fingertips and running all the way down to the ground, it skitters out across the floor and coalesces. And as it coalesces on the ground, just a pitch black section of shade, something forms.
What do I see?
Just damn, sorry. Apologies. Unfortunately, my image I use for this has decided to malfunction. Speak amongst yourselves as I briefly try to re-upload this. I shall not take a moment.
It shall take 2 moments even.
Or perhaps 3?
3 whole moments.
I suppose ours will then, after the wax is melted off her hands, just like take Mr. Chubbs into her arms, just anxiously hug him over this.
Meanwhile, the character is now floating inside of a bag of holding, being suspended by the dimensions of a rope trick. He's floating around the area. Leans himself over to the girl with the pole arm.
He's more holding on to the pole at this point, as if it were a security blanket rather than an actual weapon.
Does she look in the direction of the open hole?
If she sees a rucksack floating through midair with no visible end of the rucksack, and it's just floating through the air towards her, there might be hands thrown.
I would suggest highly she doesn't. I have a prepared action.
You may want to inform her of that, because as far as she's concerned, there is a giant floating rucksack hurtling towards her with a big open chasm where the contents of the bag should be.
The ghost
and there
orb.
are eyes in it.
The ghost orb. Why does it always do that when I hold down on the fucking... Anyways, the ghost orb is going to float in front of her. It's going to then float in front above the eye of the bag to illuminate the two eyes looking at her. One eye is severely dimmer than the other. Do not be afraid.
Immediately the screaming begins.
Maybe don't talk to a church's member with the phrases an angel will say.
Be not afraid.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm afraid.
Yep.
But
panic.
Just external screaming. Meanwhile, over coalescing from the shade is a tiny little, quite fragile looking form. Please ignore the water. It's a tiny little, like, it looks less like a dog and more like a tiny little hole in reality where light doesn't get through.
Damn you, zombies. You're making me tear up.
There is a collar on it.
Is Aiden finally going to get her own companion?
Bruh.
Aiden's just gonna steal the fucking dog.
On the collar is a little pendant that reads Albert.
Fuck.
Albert.
Looks delicious.
I will tear your head off.
Oh, been chilling.
No!
Do you have like infinite bread?
I
I guess what do you put on the bread? That's
I
a
shall
good
gently
question.
place down Mr. Chubbs and go and hug the doggo.
Chose looks completely indignant at this.
What does that mean?
Look at his face, it's just, you bitch!
And that's the meaning of indignant Penny.
I've placed him on the chest lid, so he's not on the ground at least.
Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch.
Yes. Cope. I'm trying to cope myself.
Abandoning me, your stalwart frog companion, for some 2-bit canine. It's racist.
Chubbs
what it
will
is.
remember this.
This butterfly effect in the corner. Chubbs will remember this.
Frog.
It would probably be pretty easy to make a Telltale game out of this.
Yeah,
Every single entry has an option for glass in.
Blasting.
The renegade interrupt button from Mass Effect 2 never goes away.
Yeah, it's just there constantly.
It's just a constant option to just be a problem.
Meanwhile,
The screaming continues.
the eyes just kind of start tapping, moving up and down as though they're tapping their feet, waiting for her to stop screaming.
The archer just kind of walks up behind the bag, floating in midair, looks at her, cranes his neck, tries to look in the gap, takes one look at that, and starts walking back to where he was.
That's a good choice.
Fuck that. Besides, what are you doing here, you crossbow-wielding prick? I could ask you the same, you short-bow-wielding asshole. Dressed up like a shrubbery. Dressed up like a fucking kettle. There's a back and forth of basically a Genovese crossbowman and an English longbowman having a protracted argument. For
That's why your shoes raggedy.
That's why your mama did.
That's why your whole like field of siege engineering is dead.
Bruh.
Bag's gonna float up to Arshia.
Esther at this point just kind of sitting back and watching all the mania unfold around her. Also bloody boisterous.
They're loud.
That gives me migraine.
Do not talk to me about mental pain. However, thank you for unsealing me from my bindings.
Anyone could have done it. You don't need to thank me or anything.
No one did. Floats away. Back to her. My God, you have some lungs on you.
She's not taking a breath She's not taking a breath yet. She's been screaming for like a solid 10 minutes. And it only gets like, as you get closer and further away, the tone changes.
Oh God.
Doppler screen radar.
Like with enough ghosts, you could use this bitch like a synth machine. Or a theremin. Very long range theremin.
Let's see here. Do I have a spell that can help her not scream her lungs out anymore?
Ah, yes. Good old silence cast Stone Fist. Smashes her in the side of the skull.
I'm trying to find something that's going to just simply make her stop screaming, but unfortunately everything I have is going to either cause her to be rendered unconscious or simply just stuck there as she's not able to make choices and actions. And I'd rather not color spray her.
Pocket set.
Just gets
Peppers a day like a sack of shit and causes an inter-guild incident.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Still.
He's going to elect to wait.
Meanwhile, there's now a dog. Enjoy. Once again, this is dog.
Nice.
He literally looks like just a gap in light. It's like he isn't rendering properly.
Dog.
Is its eyes noticeable?
I have put Mr. Chubbs back on my head, by the way, so Mr. Chubbs is maybe not as jealous.
Mr. Chubbs is absolutely fucking livid.
Oh no.
I just imagine the screaming frog.
Have you never heard a frog scream? But they literally say read.
I've heard the screaming one, but I've also heard like the.
Yeah, it's the one where they like are about to fight.
Oh yeah,
they're about to throw like two frogs like that are literally like 90% neck pouch about to throw hands. It's great. But
this makes me wonder: can toads have a nigga moment?
A frogger moment? I'm so angry. I'm across the street. Oh fuck.
Well, I think we're about to find out. Is the answer to that question?
Some toad on toad violence. Going toe to toe, if you will.
It's probably more like fucking toad on. I don't even know what they exactly call that dog.
Toad and frog. Interracial violence.
My character chooses to continue waiting for her to stop screaming. Has she stopped screaming yet?
Oh.
Just imagine it's like that one rooster who's just screaming and then just passes out and falls over.
One thing you do notice, Eris, is that the puppy does have silver eyes.
Is it a silver I'm familiar with?
It may very well be, you're not sure.
Very well.
But it's less like picking up an animal and more like picking up like a gap in reality that just is shaped like one.
That is okay. I'd also like to ask Mr. Chubbs and Ancient Patov, please stop screaming.
He just grumpily ignores you, just turning up his little froggy nose.
I'll get you many treats, don't worry.
The bag's going to
treats now.
The bag's gonna The bag's gonna rotate in the direction of Eris, and a loud, boisterous voice says, "She's replacing you!"
He looks at you. You can see that Chubbs is crying slightly. His big froggy eyes.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's crying! Stop it! Why? I'm having fun.
Oh,
You look back. There's a frog with a tiny little bottle of Hennessy. So you can see it in his eyes, dog. He's running from something.
I wish shed a tear for Mr. Chubbs.
A really oversized tear falls out of one of his eyes.
Oh wait, out of my eye, or out of his eye. We both cry at the same time.
I'm only here to tell you what the NPCs do and what happens when you do stupid shit.
I as a rock person, do I just cry actual water, or is it like a pebble?
It's like a small.
It's mineral water.
Avalanche. It's like a small avalanche.
It's mineral water.
Yeah, mineral water comes out.
Just Fiji out of each tear duct.
Meanwhile, as the voice of Vermont is slowly being suffocated by what sounds like a spiritual force gripping its... What's the word?
The two sides of the same ghost are now strangling each other in the pit.
It's more like he's being slowly strangled and muted to death, but as he keeps talking, he's like, you better get another bottle that week! I need another bottle of pharmacy!
It's literally two brothers fighting over the same Discord microphone. Like physically fighting over the
Mum said it's my turn on the poltergeist.
Oh, goodness me.
The bag is going to turn back around to Lady Juliana. Is she still screaming?
Lady Juliana is screaming loud at this point, because now there's an active domestic event happening right in front of her. On top of that, so it's an added mental trauma. Haunted and witnessing a domestic dispute is a winning combination in terms of making some of these idiots fucking freak out.
Police, I'd like to report a domestic.
I am not laughing in character. The Cerulean eye is going to light up and is going to look directly at Juliana. Compose yourself. Continuing to mention, I still do have that prepared action waiting.
Also, just in from Captain, $20 saying in DMs.
Make sure I get it uploaded. What is it called?
I thought he said Indians for a moment then.
Just Indians, that's it.
Oh my god.
You know how you put that card under your hat?
Mm-hmm.
This is for Mark.
Yes.
The card falls out of your hat
Huh?
and hits the ground.
Can I try and catch it before it lands?
Yeah, of course you can try.
Do you want?
Sleight of hand, please. As you catch it, it lands in your hand with a thunk, a metallic thunk. As you feel something metal land in your palm. And there is something underneath the note. It's a belt buckle.
Huh. I'll look at the belt buckle.
I'm glad you chose to do that. Aren't you glad you chose to do that?
of the great form.
She, it is pronounced she, right?
Yeah, G.
I believe so.
G. She or she.
Yeah.
Chinese and Mandarin are very fucking stupid when it comes to this symbol of X. She's great clamp forward. Belt buckle.
Yeah,
With the image of a cowboy spur. With the face of Xi Jinping in the middle button that is fixed to spur.
Yes, indeed.
So obviously I'll whip my belt off.
Oh god. I don't like
Derek turns and looks at you and is very concerned.
Considering that
It doesn't have eyes, it turns around and it's like a visible concern wash over its whole body. So, will you be wearing the belt by chance?
Yeah, I'm just gonna switch over belt buckles.
They clip and hook and in place. Congratulations. The G's Great Climb Forward does the following. Once a day, it can cast Endure Elements and it gives you a permanent, or whilst it's worn, +2 to Dexterity.
Oh, that's useful.
How high is your dex now?
I'll put it on 18.
Not higher than mine.
That's literally because you have like 2 less stats than everyone else.
True.
Oh, divorce. The horse looks on with a bit of relief that you're just putting on a new belt. But it is particularly garish as far as belt buckles go. Like everyone else is kind of like tilting their head and looking like, what the fuck is this?
Obviously, I untuck my t-shirt over it.
The bag floats slightly over the direction of the horse. Wouldn't you rather that he just taken his pants off?
Nay.
He said no. I translate that to the rest of the group. Nay means no in horse. Cause
Nay means no.
obviously, they go to language.
Mark's just getting heckled from the bag. Is he not gonna have the belt, bro?
Of the concept that like both spirits are getting along just long enough to roast a man for his new belt that he got given.
Yes.
Like some shady organization trying to recruit him. It's like, here, have this fancy belt that gives you like a massive stat bonus. It also happens to look like bewilderingly weird.
Oh, it's getting things that you didn't want or need is what Christmas is all about. Merry Christmas, everyone.
God bless us, everyone. I don't know if it's God.
What the fuck are you talking about? +2 dex is really fucking good.
I would argue Arshia, bless everyone.
We're not signing up for your goddess's OnlyFans, I'm sorry to say.
Now 40% off for the holidays.
No, she does not do discounts.
She's a classy goddess.
Yes.
You watch the Abadar worshippers will still try and pay with a fucking coupon. All the Abadar worshippers, you can always tell them they've got honey installed in their fucking toolbar.
That'd be an actually interesting idea. Could you be able to build the kind of like holy network of gods that just happen to have a direct line to something akin to a modern day service? Because if so, God Tender would be blowing the fuck up right now.
God damn. They already went down that pathway so hard that they had to walk back a son of both Sarenrae and Asmodeus. Just being actually the son of Grajd and a fire goddess of some kind. Even though it was blatantly meant to be Asmodeus and Sarenrae that had the kid. That's Ragathiel, the Imperial Lord of Vengeance. But there is a smartphone started, so you can make of that what you will. Wait, it is late. Unless anyone's got anything particular they'd like to do currently, I'd say we should probably wrap up the evening.
Back turns back around to Lady Juliana. Is she still screaming?
Yes.
The being actively sticks his head out of the bag, allows it to fall down his form, steps on the ground. She's still screaming.
It's gotten louder.
At this point, the cerulean eye is going to start glowing dimmer, and the lavender eye start growing brighter. Doing a dig in front of her. Water's dancing. See if she keeps screaming louder.
Roll your perform dance, please. Or charisma, if you have no skill in it.
I have performed, but it's not very high. 7. Pretty shitty dancing.
As the would-be scion of a noble house pries itself upwards and proceeds to outdance you by a factor of magnitude. Because she'll put up with being menaced by weirdo ghost bullshit, but not in her wheelhouse.
She'll stop dancing, look directly at her. Now, was that so goddamn hard?
Yes, you're bloody scary. Menacing young girls like that. It's not toward.
He'll stop moving entirely, and his face will go slack. The lavender eye is no longer glowing. Cerulean eye is glowing now. He kneels. It was not my intention to scare you, but you have fucking pipes.
It wasn't always night, you know. She kind of looks a bit almost more not quite self-aware, a little insecure almost as she says that, as if she is somewhat ashamed of her profession.
Why would someone of royalty need to be ashamed of being a knight?
Too many times removed for all that business. Still, no, that business I will not be spoken down to. Not by some intangible weirdo with funny eyes.
The ghost actively looks up at her with confusion, while on his knees. Spoken down to. Looks at his knees. Looks at her. Knees. Her. Knees. Her. Knees. Her.
She's not very good. You know what I mean?
Is this how all ladies treat men who help her up from being fallen down?
You can see her weighing her options and what to say now. A great deal of consternation as she tries to figure out what to say.
He stands up.
Scratches. She kind of like reaches a finger behind a plate helm to her ear to scratch it. It's like.
He stands up gracefully. Should I let you stay on the floor?
I can quite look after myself. At least I'll bloody well try to, of my own accord.
So be it. Picks the bag, he reaches down around the bag of holding, reaches up and pulls it back over himself, and floats away.
As you just vanilla ice out of every scene you're in. Fucking. I can't even remember what fucking stand Vanilla Ice even had. It was the one that just obliterated matter. I can't remember its name.
Yes, that is the stand.
Yeah, I can never remember its fucking name.
No, that was the stand. Vanilla Ice is the user. Cream is the stand.
Oh, that was it. I forgot. Yes, cream. That was it. Because I got mixed up with cream starter in 7. Unless anyone's got anything specific they'd like to do, I would like to wrap up for the evening, as it's quite late.
No, that's it.
Okay. Any other takers? Speak now, forever you hold your peace for the season.
I'm all good.
I hope everyone has a great Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you all
And New
for
Year's,
hanging
too.
out. Yeah, thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. We've been playing this game over the last year, essentially. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And then we will be back here and see you again after the holidays have passed in January.
Yep.
Have a successful cuffing season. We go see you next year for new drafts.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Hang on, before you press the button, I have a question, something that I've thought of now as an adult. I didn't question as a child about Christmas that I'd like to share with you. So, as a child at a Catholic primary school or whatever, where the nuns were the teachers and that for me, so they taught us about Christmas and about the Virgin Mary and the birth of Jesus and all the miracles of Jesus and stuff. And you understand as a 5-year-old that the virgin birth's like really great, but nobody tells you what a virgin is, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
true.
you're at least 10 or something. Like, that's it. That's my point. Like,
there we go.
that's
Full
weird.
context. It's kind of hard to appreciate how the miracle of the matter where you don't really realize the function by which it is a miracle.
That is true. That is true.
Exactly.
Oh, Bill, I miscounted. I actually have one more language. I forgot that you gave me Necrial.
Yep.
Are there any dragons in the area?
The dragons are primarily seen as demigods to fallen gods. But there are a couple of draconic races. There are kobolds and such.
Draconic.
Yeah, always a good pick. And if you're from elsewhere, draconic is always useful. Because you'll probably have run into more draconic creatures around here by virtue that the goblins tend to eke out the kobolds in most situations unless they're very deep underground.
Nice. Okay.
Alright, cheers, mate. I hope everyone's had a good evening, and I hope to see you all in a fortnight's time on the 3rd when we reconvene. Yes.
Thanks, everybody. See you then.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Alabashon.
Have a
Get
Merry
drunk
Christmas.
and scream at your relatives.
As is the custom.